sugar.
Eunuch.
This is just sour.
No,
Right?
it's
It's just
female
sour
food.
stuff. Maybe it's just salt.
It's not unified. It's female food. It never had nuts.
You should still let me tell
Unified
That's
would mean if it had
I
nuts.
put
and
it in
we
a container
removed
for
it.
you.
You need to send me colors though, so I know which colors you want them to be.
I'm already
I
reading some
think
of
it
the
pretty
new
much was
rules
just black
for.
hair. That was the main thing.
You would have a thing.
He's already invested in his
Preference,
Tuesday
probably
nights, the hope and
I will
dream.
I'll send you a
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, I want to play the Force so
I don't know
bad,
if I'll
dude.
be able to get
When I
eyes
was
in
creating
there,
her
but
again,
I'll
I was
try.
like,
So give me an eye
I
color.
want her just to be straight up
I don't
a
think you're
stealth
able to get
killer,
the color
and that's what she
or
is.
her-
She's gonna have a
I can't use
blowgun
your eyes.
with poison darts, and it's a flute that she can play too. And she's gonna fight with 2 daggers or throw 2 daggers. That's it. Yeah, throwing daggers and like fighting daggers. You're gonna fight double fisted.
Isn't that dangerous? Running a poison blowgun. I mean, anytime you.
As
put
long
it
as you don't
in the
inhale.
you have a-
Not-
Yeah, well,
not
what
when
you
you're
cough.
young. Not when you're a Yanti,
Oh, that's
they're-
fair. Yeah.
because they're immune to poison.
Oh,
Yeah, they're immune to
yeah,
poison.
okay.
They're not immune to choking on a dart, but
No,
they're immune to
but-
poison.
There's a meme that went around about like a guy who thought like this is the most dangerous poison in the world. Why did I like that? And then he dies. Yep.
Are we in Winch Leech?
Yes,
Okay, just making sure.
you are.
Who was here before me? They left stuff on the table.
Because it's like we were there and then we were gone and then we were there and then we were gone again and then it's like we were back in a town. It's like, what town are we in?
Very true. Very,
Well, we
very
came
true.
Back in the
Barrio.
coin strikers guild hall has been
Yeah,
had the
right.
roof ripped off.
Blown out. Yeah. I think we should just pocket the money and go. There you go.
Decimated.
You're slipping back into your Jerry motif pretty quickly.
and then he's like, and then Jason puts like 300 pages of written like adventure that he did for us, throws it in the trash can. Damn it, Jerry! There's so many cool NPCs. See, that's what I always fear about. Like, I try to do everything I think like to make the game enjoyable for you too, because I know that you put, any DM puts a lot of time into his NPCs. And then like if you even a side quest that has cool NPCs, if you like decide you're not going to do it or you leave, I know there's got to be a damn.
No.
We didn't do it.
They just get worked right back into a different situation.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, he just reshuffles.
Or I know he
them.
restuff. What's all that?
So
That looks like a bunch of salt.
No,
sugar.
it's
Really sours.
I should
Oh.
open it up.
It's a lot of sours.
Not that. This.
Oh, that yes, definitely.
It looks like. What is it?
It's Lucas.
Mexican candy.
which is sour salt.
Yeah, you put a little bit in your hand, you look at it, it's like.
I don't want to lick my hand. Do you ever know where my hand's been?
I don't think you know where your hands are.
That's why I'm not going to lick it.
We went to this shop in town.
Under the
I had
table
a lot
trying to
of
get ahead in this
these kind
game.
of candies and stuff. We went in there looking for little things to bribe my nephew. To
Can I get something besides this rock I can't use?
And I saw that, and I'm like,
Hey,
how
those are
dare
your
you
parameters,
have
not mine.
this thing? Because I'm
Jason
going to have to
wants
buy
us
this.
to use it,
I
which is
do.
why I don't want to use it. No, I don't know.
Wait a minute. No D&D bed talk, young lady.
No, that was me. That was
Oh, that's pure her.
That's pure
we
guessing.
actually don't really ever talk about the games
we don't.
outside of the game.
mostly because he won't tell me shit.
That's
were-
fair. That's fair.
He was listening in on us when I was discussing it at the war when I was
I
getting a
love it.
massage.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to Carolyn about it. I'll
Super
talk to
sour.
Carla
I
about
love
it.
it.
Oh my god, those are super sour.
It's making my eye twitch, and I love it.
The green apple and the watermelon ones, those are like.
Callista's a pretty bitter person, so it takes a lot to
Okay,
make her do
eliminate
sour
one?
face.
No.
She's not even she's not even phasing her.
Oh my god, they're so good.
I
I used to eat these by the pound, like to the point where the citric acid
Would
would
hurt your teeth.
hurt
would
would hurt
burn-
my tongue.
Would
No,
burn your
yeah.
mouth.
Would burn my
Oh.
tongue.
I'm just watering. My mouth's watering just thinking about it.
Sam and Alex used to love those. I know because I was the one that bought them the strawberry,
You know
the
the
watermelon, and the green apple.
Tearjerker's gum.
Mm-hmm.
Tearjerker's gum.
We used to
I
get
was the generation
South
of Hubba
the
Bubba.
tearjerker
Oh, I love
candies.
Hubba Bubba.
The commercial, like I always felt like late 80s, early 90s product and commercials and the
pick,
things
like,
you
2 more
attach yourself to
Uh-huh.
were always so weirdly in sync with one another. Like
The
that
Title
that
Bubblegum.
creepy old cringy kind of old
know-
Western guy doing the Hubba Bubba.
Popping candy.
know
Well,
which
they're
one I
Pop
like?
Rocks.
You know which one I
Hubba
like?
Bubba
Mm.
Bubba Gum.
Big League Chew.
Oh yeah, with the
Yes.
big pouch that taught you
Yeah.
to.
Shredded
This is
bubblegum.
how you. This is what you do
This is how
before
you
you
dip.
start actually
This
dipping
is how
real
you dip your
tobacco.
jaw.
So this will get you ready for it.
No, I
Well, that's
dated
why
a
it's
guy.
outlawed selling of the.
Oh yeah, they
cigars
wouldn't let
and
them
the,
sell it because it was just like tobacco.
the
Just, it was
old
gum.
cigs, the
I
old
dated a
cigarettes.
guy who dipped. So gross. Don't do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So gross.
Which one?
Bottles.
My-
I'm
my
not
brother-
planning on dating
my
a guy that
brother-
dips
Can't say.
So
anytime
bad.
soon.
So bad.
I've done it
My
before.
brother
The
does.
whole time when you're just walking around like
They
you're
always have
talking through
those
the bottom
bottles
part of
just
your
laying
lip.
around.
Oh yeah,
Weird
our
taste.
roommate for about a year. We tiny bottles of all
Bottles
around
of
the house.
spit.
All around the house.
So gross.
And the tar.
crap.
Well, what's worse is like if you were drinking and dipping at the same time and you accidentally drank.
Oh,
Don't mix up. Don't mix
Versus
up your spit
bubbles
bottle and your beer.
Yes.
There's that
That
active
was
imagination
so
working. Thanks.
In high school, we had a teacher that if he caught you dipping, and because kids
As
try to
kids
get away
do.
with smoking, and if he caught you dipping in class, because he'd see you with a cup in the back, kind of spitting the cup, he'd make you swallow the dip in your mouth and then drink the cup.
Ew.
Oh,
No one ever dipped in his class again.
Yeah, I would hope not.
I kept hoping someone would because I was fascinated by the facial expressions. Both of the watchers and the person being
horror
forced
and
to.
revulsion.
Yeah. Oh.
He did that to me one time. He brought home
Oh yeah.
the
that was
worst, hoppiest beer,
That wasn't
and
the
I'm not
worst. It was just a real hoppy IPA.
It was extremely hoppy.
Oh, have you thought that? Have you ever tried a sour?
Oh,
The
have
green
bunny
flash or whatever it's called. Have you ever tried a
It
green
might
Well,
flash?
have
no,
been.
it was the expression
But
because
yeah,
I was like,
I
"Here, try
literally-
this," and I had it
and
a
I-
beer.
and I went-
She doesn't like beer, and she was just like,
You tried
Well,
to kill me.
I like IPAs, like hoppy IPAs,
Uh-huh.
but to an untrained nose, they smell like socks.
"Yeah, if you're not used to like."
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
they literally smell like damn socks. It's hysterical. Well, happy Monday, everybody. We're back. We're back from our week-long adventure up in the FCA, up at
Charlie, we're
the
going on
pretend
an adventure,
Bakersfield.
Charlie.
the pretend.
Going to Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Going to Candy Mountain, Charlie.
God.
Candy Mountain, Candy
Oh,
Mountain,
and
sugary goodness.
Mondays and Wednesdays are now my official long days because my day starts at 5 a.m. and doesn't finish until
I'm
10:30
missing a
p.m.
kidney.
Oh, they took the freaking
They
kidney.
took it. She woke up in a cast iron bathtub, which is funny because my group today in Worlds Apart, they thought that was about to happen to them, and I must turn everyone into paranoid people because it's like I give them a moment of like normalcy, and all they're doing is.
That's because in another life, Jason, you would have been a mad scientist.
I was like, what are you guys looking for? I'm just giving you a nice return back to the table. I don't understand.
Don't even deny this. You know it's true.
Oh, so our schedule is back to normal. Do have some good news. We have quite a few available souls to kick off our Tuesday game. So we do have a Tuesday game in the works. I'm hoping to kick it off around the holidays. Maybe sometime in either November or in December. I'd love to get it close to January because then we can literally follow it year to year and see how it does. We got a couple of youngsters who might be playing. You will see Ivar and Callista in it again, but we're going to try to find a couple new folks, just kind of how like we found Shiloh and Carla over here in regards to them playing their characters. I have an idea for campaign structure and I have an idea for theme. It's going to be more traditional 5e, but we're probably going to start pulling in some of the new playtest rules for D&D 1 and try some of those out, see if everybody likes them or doesn't like them or wants to, put them on a big giant burn pile and let it go. But tonight's going to be very casual, very relaxed as our team gets ambushed by a strange alien creature that is going to consume their brains so that we can start over. Oh, did I say all that out loud? Jerry's like, thank God.
I don't have a brain.
I would
That's
still
fair.
have a pet.
I'm
That's
gonna
fair.
watch your
Iteration.
back.
I would still have a pet in the next iteration. Just saying.
Are your keys with you?
No.
Okay. Remind me to put on the studio key tonight or else.
Okay, they're on my purse.
Okay, because I don't want to have to wake up Steph again. She, poor thing, was tired. No, you got to make that into fabric. It's cotton.
Get
Make
your
it-
mom spindle.
Make it into edible
I
underwear.
even tried to do that.
Make that.
No, drop spindle, cotton
Oh,
candy.
cotton candy? No.
Have you ever wanted to try? Because now I want to.
I used to make cotton candy when I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. It is the most insanely
Easy.
sticky,
Oh,
whispery.
Oh yeah. Well, because the slightest change in like ambient temperature, it liquefies.
Uh-huh.
So it's like if you don't have that right temperature for when you're whipping it into that fiber,
Mm-hmm.
it just, and then if you don't do it right, it gets everywhere, and as soon as it
crystals
touches your
get all
skin, it
over
melts. And
Personal opinion, all those people who give cotton candy to raccoons, you're very cruel people.
ooh, now I want to get a raccoon cotton candy,
So
I don't want to get
cruel.
a raccoon.
and I want to start a
No.
fighter pit. I want to cover 2 raccoons in cotton candy and unleash them in a fighter pit and see what happens.
Well, then you put a bowl of water in the middle of it and watch them
Oh,
try
that's
to watch it.
So
no,
cruel.
that's pretty.
It's
That's
so
pretty.
cruel.
That's
It's
that's well, it's better than absconding
I
with
got an
spider
idea.
monkeys.
We get raccoon costumes, and we put Carolyn and we put Rachel in raccoon costumes. Cover them in
Cotton candy.
cotton candy, and watch them clean themselves.
Jump into cave.
All of that is so super cringy. We're just gonna move on.
Well, they're the youngest
super
ones here, so
cringy.
that's why they're going in costumes.
And I
Oh
can
my
have
God,
like
that's
raccoon
hysterical.
and possum. There we go.
Raccoon and a possum.
An apostle.
Who
Possum?
wants to be the marsupial?
Because
I'll be the
possums have
possum.
such
You'll be the
great
possum?
dental work.
Okay.
We had an adventure with a
They are
possum at my
scary
mom's
looking.
house.
They
Can
are
I
scary
be
looking.
a deadly bunny?
Yes. Look at the bones.
There we go.
Wait till we require the hand grenade of Antioch. We shall take care of the deadly bunny with one single throw of the grenade of Antioch. I assure you.
Oh my God.
Now I want to watch Holy Grail.
Yeah,
You
my
want to go-
We might have to.
my mom.
We could use a good laugh.
In her garage, we had a possum decide to take up residence behind the washer and dryer. So we did. Well, it was before you were born. Yeah, I know, but didn't you like poke it with a stub? We did. Actually, we.
Well, welcome
just
everybody to
poked it
Monday
with
night.
a
We are on session 20 of Pike's
Wow.
Promise. If you can imagine
Wow.
that is our 20th session. I believe our 4th or 5th session since our new wonderful ads, both Scarlet and Marrow. I do plan on stealing Marrow's name. I'm going to create an entire orky existence around it. I love that name. Like, I don't know why. It just rolls
I'll
off
get
the
you
orc
to
tongue.
go.
It does. I love it. Ching.
Oh, yeah, we all did.
It's so
Don't-
true.
don't. Have this theme song in the
So with
background,
that,
add to the bone.
we took a week off. So we're going to go
You
back a
did.
bit. A little while ago, you guys took on a camp, a strange camp of some unlikely allies, led by a very nefarious looking turtle, all of which seem to be linked in one way or another towards the Ravens, whether you call them the Golden Ravens, the Ravens, or anything related to whatever this organization seems to be linked to. There were some rather interesting discoveries made as well. A toe, a diagram, and some other activities. Unfortunately, the one lone coin striker prisoner did not survive the creativity of Belladonna, which was to hurl a large boulder down the hill and into the camp, which not only afforded an opportunity for the others to do well, unfortunately, it quite literally flattened the prisoner at the same
love how
time.
he used your full name, not just Bella, but Belladonna, because that, just illustrated your effect.
Do you have a last name? Eleanor. I need to write that down.
The team brought the encampment to heel, dispatched with everybody except for one, which they dealt with later, I believe. And a camp made up of ogres, Goliaths, led by a turtle, definitely offered up some interesting questioning and thoughts as to what was going on. They took their loot, they took their information, headed back to the Vardo and the encampment, and then headed back to Winchleech. They sought out the Coin Striker Guild that was actually in Winchleech in an attempt to meet up with those that had set them on their path, as well as to turn in the recovered funds, the tax collection, and to earn some of that wealth and make their way on towards Vasselheim. Unfortunately, they came to find a nearly destroyed third floor of the guild house by what some describe as a sand or wind-driven entity or creature. They also, while examining the nearby surroundings and testing the very nature of the elemental gem that Jerry had pilfered from the strange creature, the sand dervish that was encountered, it seemed that the elemental gem still had some nascent power left in it and seemed to react to the sand in the immediate area, almost as if it was trying to cause this creature to either reform or react to this elemental gem that Jerry was experimenting with. While that was going on, something was noticed on the roof of the Vardo. Morrow had climbed inside to try to figure out what's going on. At first, they thought it was inside the Vardo. There, Morrow, looking around, looks up, and through the slight tear in the canvas, whether through wind or through creature, Morrow, you're in the Vardo. You can hear the others in the peripheral outside. You look up to see a creature staring down at you. Its huge, round, open eyes, its mouth of flat teeth kind of pressed up against its kind of like reptilian lips. A stubby tail curled up behind it, but it seems to be staring down at you and cocking its head, looking down at you. What would you like to do? Everybody else is busy. You're the only one that sees this going on in the Vardo at this point.
Well, Jerry, I believe, was the one that suggested I go check out the so I'm going to relay to the party, hey, there's some green winged creature on top of the Vardo with one eye. And
it's not what I described, but okay.
I didn't know it didn't have wings, did it?
No,
they have wings.
it has a little curly tail, like these weird hind legs, these forelegs, two big, like bright round eyes staring down at you, a very small little flat nub of a nose, its teeth clamped together.
I have no idea to know what kind of creature this is.
You can give me a nature check, see if it kind of like reminds you of anything.
Better not be a treasure goblin.
Oh no, they know where the treasure goblin is. It's outside with a cat.
So
Yeah, no doubt.
You said there are two yellow glowing eyes?
All right,
They're yellowish eyes with no real hint of pupils.
Two or only one?
Two.
On the nature
I thought you
check.
said there was only one.
No, I meant if I said one, I meant two.
That was a 13.
13. Definitely doesn't look like a familiar creature to you, like not inherent to the area. It almost has like a chameleon or lizard-like form about it, but it's the way the eyes stare at you that feel sentient, feel very aware.
Do we hear him outside?
You hear him yell out and describe something
Yes.
is on top of the Vardo.
Is it in or on top of?
It's on top of it, looks like. In fact, after you hear Morrow yell that out, you see the outline of something on top of the Vardo. It's like its
Outline?
back, its tail kind of
Oh.
curled up.
I can use my dexterity, I guess, and jump up on top of the Vardo and investigate
Give
it.
me an acrobatics check as you leap
Yes, I'm-
onto the Vardo.
Ivory up with her.
Okay.
If it
Give
turns-
me acrobatics as well for Ivory.
I'd like to ready a quote unquote action. If it comes down, I want to try to grasp it in vain. So it
Okay.
doesn't escape.
Fair enough.
Ooh, Ivory got a natty 20 for 22.
24.
24. All of you watch as Scarlet, without even really realizing that she's moved, she leaps onto the big wheel at the rear of the Vardo and then pivots up on top and kind of positions herself on the ribs of like the roof line of the canvas of the Vardo.
And I have a blade ready.
Ivory positions herself not too far off to your right side. And the two of you are now staring at this creature. This creature 180s its head. It pivots completely around to look and see. Its eyes blink as it stares at the two of you. And then in your mind, you hear, "Please don't hurt me. I'm just curious."
Okay.
Its mouth doesn't move. Its eyes don't. They just. You hear this strange voice in your
So
head.
it's a telepathic communication.
Maybe. Have Ivory make a wisdom save, please.
Three.
3. As you're hearing this voice in your head, you look over, you watch as Ivory curls up and kind of paws at the canvas at the top and just goes right to sleep.
Oh.
But not in a way that looks like she's in any kind of pain. She just suddenly got tired and fell
It's
asleep.
So like a hypnotic sleep.
As you look at
There's a
Ivory,
spell called sleep.
you lose track of the creature. In front of you, squat on its hand, like its hind legs, and with its little hands on its belly, it's now sitting in front of you and looking up at you, and kind of like blinking at you.
It's trying to mesmerize.
I lose sight of Ivory. So
You just see her tail,
Yeah.
like,
I
Curling
would
and-
go up next.
okay. Are you in a
Or-
hurry, or are you just casually kind of pulling yourself up?
Like, what the heck's up with my cat? And something's up there. So.
Yeah, so I'd say you come up on the passenger wheel side of the Vardo. You step up on the bench seat and look up. You can see where Scarlet is standing there with her blade at the ready.
Mhm.
The strange creature, like on its hinds, with its eyes kind of staring up at her. And there's Ivory just curled up, snoring, sound asleep.
I'm gonna poke her.
Poke Ivory.
Mhm.
She kind of looks at you with one eye, looks around,
I'm
and
like,
shakes her head, and suddenly is like kind of awake, but kind of curls up alongside where you're standing at this point.
what the heck is it?
And then you hear in your head, "Sorry about that, but I thought it was going to eat me. I don't taste good."
I'll let her
And-
know.
Excuse me?
The cat. I'll let her know you don't taste good.
Oh, you speak with cats.
I speak with that cat.
Oh, aren't you a cat?
Yes.
Interesting. So you talk to yourself from time to time, I imagine.
Yeah.
The creature kind of walks past Scarlet, gets back on all fours, and then kind of goes down the side of the Vardo, and its head pivots this way to look at the rest of you down below. You,
I run.
you recognize
Oh.
it immediately.
Okay, what is it?
These things get caught in your starship thrusters from time to time.
Oh, you have to go clear them out.
Yeah.
The parasites.
Not in the traditional sense.
Okay,
These
what do I
things-
know about them? Like-
Whenever you time travel, or not time travel is not accurate. Whenever your ship moves at a certain speed, it has to go through different points of the astral sea and known wild space.
Right.
And sometimes when you're forced to slow down, you pick up these creatures.
Okay.
It's a divinity. And these little divinity creatures are considered to be fragments of other people's mental state.
Mhm.
that eventually turn into these creatures.
Okay.
And you've seen them from time to time.
Are they dangerous?
No, they're more of an oddity, and they tend to be very hyper aware of breaches in different types of planar existence, because they're always looking to try to get back when they accidentally hitch rides on wild space ships. And you're kind of thinking back the last time you got here and you established yourself. Doubtful this came from yours.
No.
This came from somebody else's ship.
So I just mentally I go, where did you come from?
It whips around, looks right at you. Its head like does this kind of sideways. Its little tongue flicks out at you. Oh. Hi.
Hi.
They don't know what you are, do they?
No.
Oh. Then I probably would. So, this is kind of a mistake.
Right.
You guys have a crystal that a friend of mine needs back.
Okay.
It was taken from them by these weird mages. They also took his toe. You wouldn't happen to know where that is, would you?
Yes.
And
what's your friend's name?
the rest of you are staring at this creature, staring at Jerry. Jerry's staring at Dad, but they're just staring at each other.
Well,
at
we
this
both
point.
we all
We're not
know.
hearing it.
No, we all know that Jerry can talk in our heads.
I hate to do this because it'd be super metagaming otherwise, but when it came down, did I try to grasping vine it?
No, because you didn't feel like it was attacking anyone. It just
Okay.
kind of shifted off the top to hang
Yeah,
on
it
to the
hasn't done
side.
Anything?
Yeah, other than like Scarlett's still staring at it with her blade out, Maro's big old orc head kind of pokes out through the top of the Vardo to see where it went. And Ivory and Jade are still up on the bench seating of the Vardo,
when
looking
his
down.
head pokes out, I want to tell him, can you check the, crawl space and make sure nothing else was disturbed?
Who's your friend? And
Yeah.
Because
Well, he's a blue.
Oh, and he lost a toe. I thought I lost a toe.
I don't know. Did you?
Did he lose a head?
No, that's the red. We've been looking for the red for a while. We've been here. I don't know the machinations of their time. 40 cycles?
Oh, okay.
Would out of character, would a cycle be a year or a day?
Probably a day.
And who's your friend that wants
For
the
the sun.
what's the stone?
Oh, well, the blue is using it as an experimental device for manipulation of elemental matter. Unfortunately, we came across some individuals that, well, took it from us, and we need to get it back.
Describe the individuals.
Oh, one of them kind of dresses up like they're religious kind. Very flamboyant robes, strange hair, tall. I think they refer to themselves as humanoid, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of different kind here.
Oh. And they all seem to work for this arcane organization called the Gold Raven, or the Ravens something. Don't know.
They were also after me.
Oh. So they know who you are, or do they think they know who you are?
They don't know what I am, but they want to find out.
Interesting.
Apparently, that's all I know. They saw me in my true form.
All you watch is it skitters off the Vardo and slowly walks over to Jerry. It sits back on its haunch with its big old reptilian belly just kind of paunched out in front of it. And the two of them seem to be engaged in some kind of silent conversation at this point.
Because
Hey, Jerry, maybe we should take this inside so we don't attract attention. Whatever it is you're
The
doing.
moment you tell them that, there's already a ring of people. Like, they already knows the strange activity of the sand and the wind and everything that just happened.
Yep.
Now they're watching this strange fat little chameleon and a hairless albino alopecia halfling having a staring contest.
Let's go in the Vardo and talk. So these people, these humanoids, stop looking at
Would you
us.
like to tell them one of your lies, or should we tell them the truth?
I'll tell them.
Could be careful, or better, if I spoke with my natural language.
No,
Yeah, but
that'd be
let's
worse.
go in the Bardo.
Oh, that's worse.
It's not worse. It's fine. But let's go in the Bardo.
Maybe meow or whatever
Don't-
creatures like you
don't,
do.
Don't listen to him. Let's go in the Bardo.
They don't seem to be very respectful of you. And judging by the body that you've taken, I can understand why. Sure, what is a Vardo?
The
That's
thing you just crawled down.
the thing.
Oh,
yeah.
the big box with wheels.
Big
Quite,
box
All
of
right.
wheels.
quite an advancement in technology. Sure, let us go there.
Yeah, Jerry wishes it flies.
Yeah, it has wheels.
Yes, they
That's
are
the-
very round.
That's the best they can do here.
I don't think that's accurate. They do have flying ships, just not as sophisticated as ours.
I just haven't seen one yet.
Oh, okay. And that took
It's good
place
to know.
in the language,
Yeah.
so you're all hearing them
It's
talk.
good to know.
And then you watch as the creature elongates, gets a little bit more humanoid looking, and turns into its best representation of a lizard folk. But it's odd. It's almost
Alopecia.
well, it's almost as disjointed and fake looking as Jerry is. Like
Right.
it just makes itself look like something that it thinks
It's
you
like
would be.
Like the thing that put a bodysuit on.
Yeah, and it's just like,
You put a gorilla suit on, you don't look like a gorilla.
yeah, it kind of has that vibe.
Almost like
Only
the
it's a little
the-
more
the-
organic because it took the
the
form.
skin suit in
You
Men in
were
Black.
Yeah.
you were cuter the other way.
I'm not familiar with this word, cute. Is it important to the political and economic structure of your kind?
No,
to
it's
the
just
humanoids.
visually appealing.
She likes creatures
Oh.
that can't talk but make sounds, and they call them
That's not
pets,
At all true.
and they order them around, pretty much like slavery, but just
That's not at all true.
Oh, okay.
yeah. She has one up there, the one that's asleep.
You've been here a long time, haven't you?
A little bit.
You've gone a little native.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Trying to blend in.
Yeah, physically you look perfect.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyways, the wagon, it pulls itself up into the wagon and kind of just sits kind of like fat and flat in the middle of the wagon, kind of waiting for everybody to get inside.
All right, we get in. I get in.
I stay on the outside keeping watch.
Okay, so you're up on the roof still, or do you want to be in the bench of the Vardo?
I'll be up on the roof still.
Okay, we'll say you're also fixing the hole.
Yeah.
Now the wind damage did that to it, so you guys watch as Scarlet kind of pulls out a needle and some canvas thread, and is kind of just listening in.
Mhm.
And my master, the Blue, had an unfortunate encounter with some mages. These mages, well, they were supposed to help us understand some of their, and it's creepy because the creature kind of goes, their magic.
Hey, that's what Jerry does.
You're beginning to notice some similarities at this point. There's some idiosyncrasies that are beginning to bleed through.
Are you from Jerry's
Yeah.
tribe?
Yeah. They call it magic.
And like there's like a mental pause. Yes, Jerry's tribe. That's exactly where I'm from.
Can you talk in all of our brains at once or just one person's at a time?
All of you hear yes, and then each one of you individually hear yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, but
Even me
each
up
of
on the
us,
roof?
we only hear yes and then yes.
You all, well, and what's really interesting is, and you've experienced this before, Jerry, so it's a little weird.
Mhm.
When it says yes to all of you, you can now, at that moment, you can hear each other's thoughts.
That was creepy.
You really don't like me, do
Do it
you?
again.
What the hell did I get myself?
That's like, and
into?
Willa's brain was just squirrel, squirrel, squirrels.
No,
squirrel,
I
squirrel,
was definitely
squirrels.
thinking about how it must feel to be inside of a dead corpse because I'm inside the Bardo.
Oh yeah,
Jerry,
that's fair.
I don't
That's
have a
fair.
problem with you, Jim.
I'm trying to look some of my notes here.
So your master, the Blue, was talking with magic users,
Yes.
and he was taken.
No, he was, how shall we say, duped, misleaded, and exploited for his own knowledge, and they made off with some of his items.
That's not what they do.
Were they from the progenitor race? What was their mission?
Not exactly. They were sent to recover the red. The red has gone missing. The red came down to this place maybe 60 to 90 cycles ago. I apologize. I'm still not familiar with the sense of time here.
Okay, I explain in Stardate form what like how time passes on the planet to him.
You could actually just open up your memory
Yeah,
to
I
that
just
point,
yeah,
and
I
it
just
absorbs it
right.
almost instantly
Okay,
from
so
you.
I'll just do that.
Ah, this makes more sense. So yes, 90 days since the red gone missing, and the blue has been here 42 days. That makes sense to me now.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be temporary. We had received word that a gray was here, and therefore we should not linger long.
Okay, wait a minute now. No, this is not talking to him. What do I know about the blues and the reds?
They are... Your species comes in versions.
Oh yeah, I know.
These are the younger versions. The grays are considered the older version.
Okay,
Whenever you're about to explore new wild space and new areas of interest,
all right.
the reds are sent out to do some practical training, and then they help train the blues.
Okay.
The fact that a red and blue is here is a little unusual. Tells you there's probably something else going on, and either they don't know it,
Mm-hmm.
or the reason why you were sent as a gray was never fully stated to you or
me.
fully explained.
Right.
Would these
Do you
partake in
have
this-
the specimens that we found?
And I'll go to the trapdoor and I'll pull it out and I'll pull the turtle's backpack out and pull out the head.
Belladonna, you still have your sand.
What else is in the
I haven't unpacked yet, so I didn't bring my real proby that you guys gave me. So I will be bringing him next time.
okay.
So I want to analyze the head that they have, the head we have,
Okay.
to see if that is the red. Indeed,
It is
the
not.
red.
It's a normal halfling.
It's a normal halfling. What about the toe?
It's a normal halfling toe, but it is related to the genetic disposition of the head.
What if I were
Okay.
to show him the map that I have of the Rimfang ruins and ask if that is a location where the creature that you might be searching for is headed toward?
It kind of skitters over to the bench where you lay out the map and have that conversation with it. This is not a location familiar to me. The blue or the red were not in these designated areas. However, you watch as its eyes project an illusionary effect. For those of you that remember, it is showing you an image of the observatory where you had found the primordial stone.
Oh, okay.
This is where the red was supposed to be to meet us. The blue was to discuss certain things and work on some elemental stones together. Stones were to be used to further our next expedition to another location. I believe they call them realms here.
Yes.
No, out of character.
Yes.
Out of character. The observatory is what we kind of exploded, right?
No,
No,
it's
that's
the one where we got the.
after it exploded. We ran. We found those ruins. We ended up opening it up, and they had that whole moving floor that we had to figure out, and then we got the stone.
Gotcha.
My senses brought me to this Vardo. I sense the stone that the blue was using is here.
Can we? Where are you? Where is your base?
We are operating out of Vesselheim.
Oh, good.
He has sent me to look for these things. I mistakenly assumed that this was a normal indigenous life form, evidently in the cold wilds of this place. And once again, he watches it changes into what looks like a Yeti, but a poorly developed Yeti that's only about 3 feet tall. You can tell that it's trying to use its knowledge of things that it's run into,
Right.
and it's using this as a way to present itself. It's just not very good at it.
I mentally give them some tips that I learned over my time here about
Are you
transforming.
sure-
Add eyebrows to the head.
Are you
You're like a
touching
chameleon
tips?
with eyebrows.
Are you guys touching tips to exchange information from the
You want
genetic
to? Is that what you want to see?
She meant tips of
Really?
your
Is that what
probes.
you want to see?
The tips of your probes?
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, the flaps
I'm gonna
on the
go check
Vardo
the-
open up, and you see one of the local Winchleach guards, like one of the sergeants,
Mhm.
put his head in. Not really sure what's going on here, but could you possibly move the wagon out of the middle of the road so that we could, go? You can't just park in the middle of the town. It's not really how this. Fine. Just kind of like closes the flaps.
We all just kind of look at him.
Go around. I didn't see a
I'm
red
sure we were parked off to the side.
stripe
weren't
on
we?
the side of the road.
Yeah, we were parked off to the side in front of the Clan Strikers Guild place.
Well, you were parked right in front of it, and right
It is
now the
very
guild
big,
is
Mark.
like,
I don't think we were able to park in front of it because it was cordoned off.
yeah. So it was
Yeah.
cordoned off. So you parked in the middle of the street that was in front of the
It's
cordon.
bad when you have to use tongs to get something out that you're going to eat. Usually, it's alive. I've seen them do that to live things.
That's such a Willa thing to do.
All right.
It's a leech.
Sugar leech.
So,
Sucks all the
what were the
sweet out of it.
experiments they were conducting with
termites.
this?
Termite.
I'm not
No,
aware of
I'm
those
good.
details. And normally my kind is discarded, but he took pity on me as long as I help him find these things.
So you're supposed to find the
smallest stone that was taken from him.
small stone.
You say that as if there's another.
Well, you said there's a small stone.
Well, yes, but you rolled an 18 for his insight.
It's
You can
fine.
try to be deceptive if you want.
Whatever.
Mm.
Oh, let's see. Should I be?
Your call.
How big is the stone? You say a small stone. How big is it?
I don't know. Something about big as your hand.
And what does it look like?
It would be a small, opaque,
Never mind.
multifaceted stone. What'd you get?
Like a 9.
Yeah, he
10.
looks at you very curious as to why you used a plural form at first.
Is this one of those moments where we should say more or
No,
less?
less.
Like imagine
So-
watching Jade pull a squirrel off of Willow's shoulder, throwing it out of the Vardo.
What is your is your master or your friend wearing a disguise at this moment?
Yes,
What is he disguised as? If you don't
he's
mind me
taken
asking.
on a humanoid form of average distinction.
Does he have a scar?
Does he have a scar? I don't
Okay.
think so.
The things look like me.
Your second smile around your neck. No,
He
does
wouldn't
not have
be
one
that
of
wizard that we
those.
let go.
That's what I'm double checking. So I described the wizard. I mean, I just do it thoughts in my mind real quick. A
His
vision
name
of
is
him.
Trinder.
Is that's not your master, is it?
There's a pause. Its head tilts towards you. No, but for some reason they seem familiar to me.
I gave
Don't
him
know
like
why.
the vision of the inside of the spacecraft we were in before it exploded.
Where we found Trendo.
Is there a reason why a forebear would be here?
A forebear. What do I know about forebears? Those the
They
original
were
ones.
emissaries of the prodigionists that would send people out to known locations to kind of
Teach him how to build pyramids and stuff.
negotiate with them on
Ruins.
being brought into the empire.
Oh, okay. All right.
And this was actually part of your original reason for why you might have been sent here,
Mhm.
although they never clearly stated it. They talked about others that have been set out and cast into wild space to make discoveries.
Mhm.
This is your first link to something of your past, but there was no real clear resonance about that.
All right.
I could be wrong. The way you've described how you found them, that seems very unusual. Those are old ships from a long time ago. Those
Yeah,
could
its
not
core
be-
melted down.
Was everything destroyed? That is good. Better that way. Hopefully the residual effects won't create too many monsters like a 948722, but mistakes can happen.
Or a 67475.
No, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about those.
No, not anymore.
Turn down the music or talk up louder.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It has.
There was one in
Velcro
Sector
sounds.
7. We had to steer clear of that.
I'm not familiar with that one. It feels like you're making shit up now.
I am. I'm playing a game actually, and we're not actually here. You don't actually exist.
Oh well, shit.
And you say I get meta.
I'm being.
But you're also a fucking tree that eats corpses. So I
Yeah.
don't want to hear about it.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's
You're still
nutrients.
burping up turtle.
Turtle soup.
Yeah.
Turn the shell into an ashtray.
It's part of a shell.
Mm.
Still like,
A
still like
turtle, a
that
hot
potential
tub.
wild magic.
Turtle
You're still,
turd.
still popping up, Jack.
Turtle's big enough I could have a little
No, I
hot
took all
tub
the
in my
gems out.
cabin.
That's fair. That's fair.
Still like the idea of maybe getting wild magic.
Well,
Swing my sword. Butterflies show up.
I'm in possession of that small stone.
Oh, you are.
What's it do?
Would you be willing to relinquish it so I can take it back to the blue?
I'd be willing to go with you to discuss it with the blue and possibly relinquish it to him after I find out some more information.
My
They are
instructions do
very
not allow
powerful.
me to do that. My instructions state find it and return it. However,
If I go with you, you're returning it.
this is correct. Would all of you care to go on a bit of a ride back to Vasselheim?
That would be
we
great.
Can talk to some friends of mine.
Apparently, I have a domicile there that was given to me.
Well, we can take the Bardo.
It's
Yeah, we
probably
can-
really, I mean,
Is
they
there a
live in,
reason why the very large shrub is talking?
yeah, it's a plant-based life form.
Oh, fascinating.
I'll give you the DNA on it
And
later.
all that time, I thought I was talking to an empty forest. Turns out I might have been talking to people.
Right.
And we could stand to hit the shops and get a few more
Go ahead,
supplies.
Jerry. Ask God if we should all go.
Out of character. How far away is Vasselheim?
I
About
refuse to use your device.
By
Unless
road
you-
and
if you would like
routes?
to use the device, I'll hand it back to you.
anywhere from a week to 2, depending on.
And we
Your
still have
pace.
to go. And that's away from where we have to go to the Rimfang Mountains.
Well, the Rimfang Ruins was an option where she just stated if you're ever in that area and you can get that accomplished. But she knows getting to Vasselheim first and getting established in Vasselheim was always a major goal.
Okay.
Once that's accomplished, she would like you to take the opportunity to try to recover the object from the Rimfang Ruins.
All right. Then, yeah, we're headed to Vasselheim anyway.
Good.
By the way,
I shall travel with you. And then we'll.
We're 2 of them, right?
2 of what?
2 of you.
Have you ever seen one of these?
Aren't there 2?
when we saw you in the desert, you split.
No, in the Bardo. Wasn't there 2?
It's just one of me. I'm
Just somebody. Oh,
confused. I can do this. He watches, he phases out and phases back in. He watches, he changes his form. He watches, he kind of moves 60 feet in the blur outside and then back in again. I'm just designed to be very fast.
Whatever you do, don't ever take the shell from him.
The shell.
Yep, that's perfect.
This
Don't take it.
little bauble.
Oh,
Nope. No. No, he didn't ask for it.
is
Doesn't matter.
this a god?
I would have to say the answers we've been getting from it, I would assume it's probably Azoth, the Mad God, but not 100% sure. That's what they call it out here. But
Interesting. So I ask it a question.
sure.
Sure, indeed.
Oh, we forgot to do that, didn't we? We forgot to do that at the beginning of the
No, but I
session.
have it. No, but I have it. I refuse to use it.
Will the blue be upset by bringing all these strange people to him?
Uh-oh.
Gotta
It
take
doesn't work.
The,
You
you
have
gotta,
to push the button on the inside.
Mhm.
Press the button.
Give it to
let
There is no button.
Let its
You have to take
vassal-
the tip off.
Ooh,
Gently turn the tip.
what they say about taking the tip off.
Yes.
Rachel, show them where the button is.
Some weird little black button in there. Little tiny thing on the side.
Good lord.
You just
I
gotta
know.
finger it
Did
correctly.
you just put a finger in there?
That's what she said.
Thank goodness I'm a pro at fingering.
the more you know.
Let Rachel show you where the button is.
What's the question?
So, what's the
Will
questions
Blue
today?
get upset if he takes us to him?
Hold on. No. My conch says no.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yes.
That's a clever god.
Mm-hmm.
Conch within the conch.
Conch within a
So,
conch.
so
Conch has said
without
conch.
realizing it, you just handed it back to her. Ta-da!
No, because Rachel was showing him, not Bella.
Yeah, that's Rachel. Also,
No meta here at the table. You do what you do.
Sure.
Sure,
I'm
Jerry.
having my moment of freedom. I'm trying to stretch my dragon out while you guys are talking. Just more
All right.
and more stretchies.
So this creature kind of just looks.
How are
I'm
you?
not really good at this social
What
thing.
type of transport do you have?
You're most
Oh,
sexy,
I.
David.
Well, I've just been hitching rides. It's easier that way.
It's
On
fine.
what?
We have a transport.
Can you make yourself very small?
Yes, I
What?
find that when I make myself a fly or a creature an insect, I think they call them.
Jerry, I think you killed God.
Don't be a fly. My cat likes
I didn't
catching
touch
those.
it.
Don't be a fly.
Why?
Because Ivory likes catching them. Don't.
Oh.
She likes chasing.
That's the
them.
name of your cat, isn't it?
Yes.
It's interesting. A cat with a slave cat. I just never heard of such
Not a
thing.
Yes, I
slave.
know it's
She's
bizarre.
my friend.
Oh, that's what he told me earlier.
I know,
I'm sorry.
but he has some odd ideas.
Oh, he does. He's a gray. I'm not surprised by that.
Coming
Okay,
from
how are we getting
whatever
there?
this is.
I don't know. You have
We're-
wheels. I
We
do
have
not.
Bardo.
Oh, thought you might have some type of teleportation device.
No, we're not really allowed to use those things here.
Well,
Jerry.
happened?
yes.
We killed God.
Did God die?
Should I buy a new one?
God is dead.
Should I buy a new one?
No, it's okay. It's just I'm all like, what happened because the orange lid part came off? I'm all like,
I'll buy a new one. It'll be here by next week.
its guts fell apart.
When you break God, you buy a new God.
I break you by.
That might have been when I fingered it.
Yeah, I think you touched it a
That's
little
what
too
I was
hard.
trying to have you
Yeah, I think when I
show
might
you
have
where
fingered it,
A little
something
too
like
hard.
maybe I tore through its tough membrane
Yeah,
Apparently.
while fingering the membrane
Yeah.
and pushed the guts further up into
yeah.
the hollow
Anyone have
points.
any other questions? Well, let's see if I can.
Are you broke for good and should we replace you?
By doing so, it will put you on the right path.
Oh, there you go. Now you have to dig one up. Where do you even get them at?
I think
Amazon.
Oh, good. I'm gonna order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and we'll just all have them talking at the same time.
We'll each have our own.
This is
Yeah.
one, right?
Yep.
We'll all become
There should
cult
be different
members.
colors.
That'll be the name
Of
of
the
our group.
conch.
Yeah.
That's our group. Right
We
now.
are the cult of the conch.
Nice.
I got this adventure. You guys need to go on to this place where there's a dragon. We do not adventure. We only follow what the conch says. We stand outside the towns and beg for money.
Yep.
Help
smack
feed
with
the
Bibles.
conch.
The conch will bless you.
You guys are terrible. Terribly accurate.
We got how many questions do we get? That was only one. That's only been 2 questions so far.
All right.
Alright.
Very well. You will travel with us then on our way to Vasselheim for now.
Will we find more treasure along the way?
Try asking a friend.
Basically, ask us for money.
Yeah, she's like, I ain't got no friends. She asks her dagger.
I don't have money either.
Her only
He's my
friend is her
friend.
dagger. So
Okay.
Tomorrow is my
the blood of her enemies is her friend.
There is that too.
So it's afternoonish at this point.
All right.
Got the crowds have returned relatively to normal. The guild is still under cordon. People are still doing their investigation, trying to figure out what's going on. You have this creature, a divination, that's with you, or a divin or a divine, depending on your
Divinity.
perspective.
Divinity.
It depends. It goes by many names. If you call it a divine for short, it'll answer to it.
Or a smuck raker.
So you have a name.
That's what you
Do you
kill
have a
him off
name?
the ship. That's what you call it.
I've never been given a name.
Oh, we should give him a name.
Ooh.
It'll
Is
make
that a
you.
thing?
It'll make you more native.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll help you go
So-
native. Whatever that means.
By the way, I'm model X369.
Oh,
I use Jerry, so
I see.
I blend in here.
Model.
Yes, you did
I'm
mention
putting that
something
next to his
about
name now.
trying to go
It's
native.
canon.
You still have all your faculties.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes they go crazy, and
No.
we have to be cautious.
Well, yes.
Okay.
They're very much emotionally based.
I did finger its guts. Ripped right through that membrane.
She's got like everything torn apart. It's like she's disarming a bomb.
I know. I was just thinking that too.
Do you need a soldering
That's how I
gun?
felt like when I was putting the top. I was gonna say the head. When I was putting the top on, I was making sure I twisted gently.
There's nothing like being next to the bomb disposal
Has to be
person when they
a
take their glasses off to see better.
Right. Yeah.
Especially
Alright,
if they're
so-
colorblind.
I guess we get going. Damn, I thought I was gonna get to teleport.
But like, what if they're like only slightly colorblind, so they see colors and they don't realize they're kind of colorblind?
Tired
The
of
shades
traveling
of
in
color,
this
yeah.
hellhole.
So it's afternoon. What would you guys like to do?
I suppose we're.
Do we have to
leaving.
shop at all?
Yeah, I need
shop.
potions.
Oh,
I need health potions since
I don't have
I
money.
didn't have any last time.
All right, so let's find a shop so we can buy health potions. I don't think we need anything else.
I don't think a priest is gonna save you.
Did we want to go back to the one gentleman to get the things that we found?
We're in Winchleach, right?
Yeah. So there's the Mad Bean. There is also the
Yeah.
Magnificent
The
Sparkle,
box that had the runes on
and
it.
there's
We were gonna
Bronze
get
Star's
that.
Goods.
Oh, the Magnificent Sparkle. You didn't tell us that one before.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
the jewelry place.
Yeah.
Oh no, I see the Sparkle's worth.
That's another one. There's two. There's Sparkle's Worth. There's Magnificent Sparkle. There's the Glittering Eye, and there's the Translucent Gem. These are all places of either gem manufacture, jewelry manufacture, and others. I mean, right now, for the most part, you guys have been sticking to the East Road and the Breadbridge region of Winchley. There's the Glass Barrow and the Shadow Heath, as well as Fish Way. So there's lots of different wards and areas within the city.
How damaged is this ward? Is it just the Coin Striker building?
Yeah, that was the only place that took any damage, was the top floor of the Coin Striker building.
It was very targeted.
Yeah.
Well, I know we need to, before we go on a journey, we need to replace the things that were damaged from the wind strike, like the food bales and the canvas.
You
So-
just fixed the canvas.
Yeah, but it won't last because it did get damaged from the wind.
Okay.
Someone's nails.
Or that.
So we need to find a mercantile.
You're probably nearest right now. There's Arvin's Forge, which is more obviously blacksmith activity. But there's the Bronze Star's Goods, which would have mercantile equipment available to you.
Bronze Star's Goods it is.
There we go.
So heading over to the Bronze Star's
She
Goods.
fixed the conch.
You fixed it? Yep. You can even pull the string again?
One fix at a time.
Yeah, I need a rubber band for that.
But she fixed the button.
I fixed the button.
You need a what for that?
A rubber band.
Doesn't get real creamy in
Would
there.
you like a hair tie?
No, it has to be teeny tiny rubber band.
The little old gnome
I
sees
thought
all of
of
you
that.
sees all of you kind of
Good,
filter
but
into the
weird.
shop. Oh, you're back. Hello. Anything I can do for you? Is everything okay? You were just here a few days ago, were you not?
Yeah, we ended up
Why
coming
does
back.
everyone on this planet ask so many questions?
What's so wrong with being
I'm
back?
sorry, I was trying to be cordial.
It's okay.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
ran into some trouble, and we may need some replacement canvas for the top of our Vardo.
Oh, I
And
do have
more.
that if you require it.
Yeah,
Indeed.
and some of the thread as well. And do you have healing potions here, or was that another store?
No, you need to go speak with Rala, the the dragonborn gentleman that runs
The man bean.
Man
No, that
bean.
was
How
The-
big's the rip in the Vardo?
the Mad Bean is the one that he runs that
Okay.
one.
How
I
big's
mean,
the-
there's a series of tears in it. I mean, the one big
Will
one
a
she
mending
started to fix.
will a mending effect work?
Sure, given enough time, you could mend little bits of it throughout the day.
Because I think you can mend what 3 square feet.
About that.
We'll still buy the canvas.
And we need more food for the animals.
And
Food
Because that mostly got blown away.
so
Those,
Just use your mind.
what
more.
kind of animals do you have?
the dwarf mammoths.
Oh, and a goat.
Or we have a donkey. Donkey.
But we need to sell the donkey.
All of them look
Self-done.
delicious, by
I
the
thought we were
way.
going to let the just eat it.
Your friends or the animal?
No, we can sell the
The
donkey.
animals.
You're,
Can use it
you're
to get the food that
strange,
we need.
but you're kind of cool, and I like that.
No, our Bardo's parked right out front.
Is he strange for a name?
I'll be 12 cold for the repair canvas and thread and everything that you need.
Do you take donkeys?
As payment,
Do you buy donkeys?
I imagine I could if their quality is good, but sure, I can offer you 20 gold for it.
Does he sell seeds here?
I do have harvest equipment and harvest seeds. What are you looking for?
To save them from their captivity.
I don't know.
I'm
what that
going to wait
means.
out in the Vardo. I
The gnome
walk out.
literally is like just getting these super creepy vibes.
I'm not a big.
Well, we can hear them
Well,
screaming.
They're dead
Yes, we
already.
get the hay for alfalfa or whatever for the
Sure.
dwarf mammoths
Okay.
and the your 2 milk.
Eat only things that are
We'll
falling
eat
off
the
the
same
vine.
stuff.
12 gold should be about
Oh,
right.
for Teddy.
And then
Plant.
do you
So
buy
these
donkeys?
carrots I have,
20
yes,
gold.
they were murdered.
Okay, so you'll buy the donkey for 20 gold.
Sure.
So
Were dead
Then-
of ground and murdered.
we're good.
They
Like-
actually want to be eaten.
I owe you 8.
Yes.
That's how they transfer their seeds from one region.
Drops
to the
8
next.
They
coin.
want to live
Bring
in your
donkey
hand.
around.
freedom.
Oh, it does look tasty. I mean, this looks great.
They just want the tits.
She leads it out back into one of the stalls.
'Cause,
Hi, everybody. I have a gopher problem. If you guys have any tips, send them in. I need to kill a gopher.
no, in all seriousness, though, what kind of seeds does he have? Is it just grain?
Grains and vegetables, typical
Just green.
seeds that you'd see on the shelf for anyone looking to make a homestead or make a go at, farming.
Because I just got a terrible idea.
I'm sure it is an awful idea.
That's one that I want to start playing.
Cannot add the seeds to the primordial stone.
No, you can't grow
No.
What if
marijuana.
she has them and flips them and they start to grow?
No. Okay,
You
so
cannot have a baby on this trip.
If there's a
Are you
Groot,
gonna have
if
a
there's a
fist-
Groot in this game, that's it. That's it.
I'm already that
Can it-
pretty much. Anyways,
Can it look like this?
no, see, I know that some creatures like nymphs and stuff have this ability to awaken creatures, like awaken traps
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So I think I want to start playing with that, with like growing little saplings into little things and making little,
Ooh, I think I might actually like that idea.
uh-huh.
Wait, what was that?
Do you really?
Not as pets,
wasn't
but like
Not-
as like
not in the. I know you're thinking pet.
it's not. They wouldn't even be
man.
permanent. They would just be temporarily alive, and then they
Okay.
would like,
So
seed
kind of like
themselves.
your version of familiar.
Mhm.
Like an
Guess I get a
animated
lizard
chia
pet.
Yeah, there you go.
and like once they're like
That is
they're
an
done
animated
doing
chia
the thing,
pet.
they would just plant themselves wherever they are and like go to root and they
Okay.
become normal plants.
Ooh, we can have fun with that. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Mm.
It's not a pet.
But
It's
definitely-
a strange,
so they don't
quirky,
become
quirky
sentient
creature that she
beings.
brings into
So-
existence.
Willa
Are you gonna make
has
funny
a
sounds for
cannon
it?
on her shoulder.
Then it's a pet. End of story, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have tons of pets. Okay, I want the lizard as a pet. What's his stats? I'm done.
But I'm a sentient creature. I don't get to be a pet.
I mean, technically, you have a pet. It's a lizard.
I raised a sentient creature.
Okay,
So
I'll
you
have
guys
an
gather up
NPC
the replenishment of stock and
Yep.
repair
or
And then
Tina.
we head over
items.
Does it
to
work?
head over to the alchemy store.
the Mad Bean.
Yep. Hello,
The
Mad Bean.
Yeah.
I have his name as Flint.
Well, that's his short name as a Dragonborn. His full name is complex, but Rylar Flint Blyle is his name, but he goes by Flint. The Dragonborn. Oh, hello.
Hello again.
You're back.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. I just normally when people say they're passing through, they continue to pass through and don't actually pass back through so quickly.
Well, we got sent on a
Surprised.
different errand, and now we're going back north.
Oh, very well.
We
What
were
can
delayed, you might
what
say.
can I get you?
More healing potions?
I do have regular, and I did recently come across 2 superior healing potions
How much
as
for the
well.
superior?
They are 2,500 gold, and the regular healing is 400 gold.
2,500 gold? It's 25,000?
No.
22,500 gold.
500.
Jeez.
Gold, not platinum.
We
Yeah.
gotta remember how to, or we gotta start learning how to make these things.
Gold, not platinum, right?
Okay, so, Scarlett, you wanted.
I'll take one of the regular.
Okay, here you go. One of the regular healing potions, 400 gold, please.
I'll buy her a second one.
A second one. Of course. A second one.
Really? 10% power. Let's see how much money I got.
Is there anything else I could do for any of you?
Hang on a second.
I'm looking around. Does anything catch my eye?
65 platinum.
Give me a perception check as you look around.
I had my dice.
Yeah, we've been playing for over an hour and we finally rolled a die.
Nope. Nope.
Oh no, there was a wisdom save too with Ivory.
She failed.
That was a 4.
Or 4?
Plus
Nothing.
3.
I mean nothing that you didn't see before last time you were here. It's all the same. Lots of different components and items and organics and
Yeah, oh, that's right. I have it.
What is it? Platinum's 5 gold pieces or 10 gold pieces?
10.
platinum is 10 gold per. So
Okay.
these are 400 gold a piece, which would
So it'd
be
40 platinum.
which would be no, would be
Oh, sorry.
yes, 40 platinum.
Oh,
You're right.
So since I have never been in the story, I would like to do a perusal.
Okay, give me a perception check as you are waiting for him to package up the potions as others
I'll
continue to
get-
shop.
I'll get a potion.
Regular one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I can afford. $400.
400
400 schmools? Come on, man.
simoleons.
That's all you get for $400?
Uh-huh.
No. I keep my money.
Oh wait, I wrote two.
Wow. What a ripoff.
It's one of
We
those.
got to get to
passing through towns.
Valselheim. Yeah, it's one of those.
Passing through town.
A shovel's what? 300 gold pieces.
Okay, so that was.
How much is a wagon wheel? 4,000? Oh, no wonder people live here.
12.
12?
People
Looking
on the Oregon
around,
Trail.
The shop
Yeah.
is an amalgamation of everything you would need to make things related to alchemy, as well as the outcome of things that are made from alchemy in general. So you can see like strange, like masonry, like ceramic jars filled with things. You can see strange looking components and oils and lacquers and like little samples of like different organic material, like lavender and little like weird kind of like leaves or a dried out charcoal finger kind of as part of a magical component. And there are a series of shelves that contain books or assorted list of books that seem to all be related to flora, fauna, and the idea of alchemy study of various degrees and interpretations. And I mean, the smell is very kind of walking into a head shop, a mix of smells of spice and just this very like heady kind of organic smell that permeates through the entirety of the space.
Do any of those books call to me?
I'd say depending on your interest. I mean, they're all related to alchemy making of different levels, as well as flora and fauna of different regions. I would say there's one book in particular called The Botanicals of Othanzia. It seems to specialize in poison ingredients.
I think I shall purchase this book.
Oh, that's an excellent book. So glad you found an interest in it. That'll be 6 gold, please.
Here's a question. Because I can grow things for the most part,
Yeah.
could I grow things she
There's
needs?
could versus should, but sure.
Could I grow things that she could use to make her potions or poisons?
Certain fauna is very specific to certain regions.
Mhm.
To grow poisons would make things toxic to you. So it's not in your nature.
I already have poison spray.
Well, that's something that you're working on as part of your essence of yourself. I would say if you ever get a chance to perfect that, we could potentially explore you like fostering like certain plants that you could use.
A walking aquarium.
Is there a recipe for healing potions?
Yes, on the shelf there. There are many different books that'll help you at both the beginner and expert level of production. You would also need a alchemy kit and alchemy equipment to be able to brew up concoctions.
And how much is that?
Well, the books will run you 12 gold. The kit will run you 25 gold. And the necessary ingredients to practice the art of making health potions will run you 50 gold.
And
Yes.
blowing up the Vardo, priceless.
I'm gonna buy that.
Should have gone to Jared.
Okay. She got Jared.
She went to Jared.
Well, is there anything else I can get the love? I do have other potions if you're so interested. I have potions that make you invisible. I have potions that make you fly. I have potions that make you stronger. Just a matter of what you would be willing to pay to do all those things. Oh, and since you were last here, I've got one of these little beauties right here. As he holds up like a purple vial, and the liquid itself is kind of swirling with its own kind of energy and its own centrifugal force. I have a potion of haste, if you're so interested. The potion of haste, 1,800 gold.
Do you have permanent
180
potions that cause permanent effects? Just for curiosity.
I have poisons that will kill you.
That's a
pretty
permanent
permanent.
effect. Death is a permanent effect.
A positive.
Try
permanent
that one.
effect?
How much is that?
Almost all potions are temporary, dear. Designed that way for specific reasons. If a potion fails, often it could cause an effect that could last. Your skin turns blue, your hair falls out, things like that.
You get human skin.
That would be interesting. You think I would blend in better?
No.
Do have a potion of bark skin.
I thought I was having problems
It's like my skin is.
fitting into this world until I met you. Then I thought I'm doing pretty well.
I always see little Jerry next to big old Willa. It's always in my head. It's
I'm gonna pull out the 3 gems from the turtle shell.
oh,
What are these?
You might want to go to the gem store.
No, they're glowing with arcane light.
No.
This would be where we want to.
may I?
Yes.
Grabs one, holds it up to their
Stole these
loop,
from my father.
stares at it through their
Horrible
loop.
magic
The
user.
Dragonborn kind of sets it on the counter. Those are infusion gems, my dear. These are gems designed to carry magical effects within them. These have been mostly expended, however. These are quite rare and expensive. I can give you 3,000 gold apiece.
So that's 9.
Or I could trade if you so choose. Maybe I do have. I'll tell you what. I will throw in a regular healing potion and 2 superior healing potions for trade.
all 3
We'll
of
get more
them
than Vaseline.
would be 9,000.
Well, if you're going to bicker over quality versus quantity,
What about the haste too?
I can throw in haste, yes. It's my limit.
Okay.
So the haste, 2 superior and a regular?
Yep.
Okay. I can do that.
I think you got the better part of the bargain.
Oh, sorry, Supreme.
Okay.
There's those.
How many Supreme?
And then there's those.
I miss Amazon. Yes, it does exist in this world, in my world. Simply order the potions you need. They arrive, if you're subscribed, in 2 days.
By interplanetary spaceport.
That's right.
by wild magic.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Jeff Bezos is
Grabs the 3 gems and puts them in a nice little metal box and sets it underneath his shelf. Well, this has been a lucrative day. Anything else I can get you?
that means he made too much money from this.
No, he can infuse them with other things and then sell them for more. I can't infuse them with other
He
things.
got the
and
better
sell
part
them
of
for
the
more.
deal.
All right, time to go. Let's get going. I have a
We're good.
strange feeling I'm being hunted.
The one single hair that grows on Jerry's body is standing on
Tingling.
end.
That's not his hair. That's his antenna. No.
Oh, it's an appendage.
The one gem store that they went to before, because I know they went in to go buy supplies, but I actually wanted to go to the gem store that they went to before.
And that, I believe, was the sparkling one.
Yes, that was the one that had the really shiny necklace
Yes,
that everyone was talking about.
it did.
The one that flies and whatnot.
The one that was in its own kind of like stasis.
Yeah, the one
What
that
was
was
that?
in it was like 200 platinum. It was very expensive, but I'd like to go in there and I'd like to go see that necklace.
Okay. So you head over there while the rest of
200
you are
platinum?
doing whatever you want to do.
I think it was like 200 platinum or I don't
It was
know.
2,000 platinum.
2,000 platinum. Darn, it's not have enough.
Maybe you can talk it down.
Uh,
I have these really cool.
I mean, maybe we
synthesizers.
could go into the Bardo and get some money out of our bottom safe, and
You guys do have all. Did you guys keep the coin striker
I'm
chest?
not sure
No,
if
'cause
the
we-
coin
yeah.
strikers, because
We
the
don't know
coin
any coin
strikers
strikers
no
anymore.
longer existed.
They're all
Yeah.
dead.
So
This.
while they're in there, I
You
have
take
like
it
2
to-
giant sacks with me
Wait.
full of.
Wait,
Yeah.
out of no, because they're in the Bardo. Out of character, there are coin strikers in Vasselheim, right?
That's where their primary headquarters
Except
is.
one
Yes.
more,
That's
and that's it.
guys.
I
That's
can't
where I'm
stop
planning on taking
myself.
it.
Okay.
Not
Because we do
unless
get
you
the
guys eat
reward
it all
for turning
instead
it
of
in.
me.
Right. That's where I'm planning
only way I
on
can save
taking
myself.
it.
Get down the whole thing.
We just can't turn it into the coin strikers here
problem.
because they're
Yeah,
dead.
throw up a rainbow.
If we turn it into the guards here, we don't get paid, and they probably keep the money.
Exactly.
That was not out loud in character. Just saying. Okay.
All right, so I guess we have to see that
I
for
really
another
hate
time.
to
then.
see what would happen to that town that didn't pay their taxes.
Mm.
All right. So.
Oh, they paid.
Yeah.
But there's no proof of it. That's the problem.
Maybe. You
Unless
guys never
it's
made
in
it to the
those- unless
town.
it's in those
You never made
cards.
it to the town of Glassboro, so you don't know.
I had a terrible idea with the necklace too.
I think that's a hint.
No, I just remind you because it's been a week
know.
since we've been off. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
We know.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, we did get the Queen Striker's journal though too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yes,
we
and
could
have the
read,
pendants of the
see
dead
where he
coin
made it
strikers.
to.
Yeah, you did collect
Mhm.
the items from.
Did he make it out there to the town?
Possibly, we don't know.
The
It-
coin strikers. Yeah, they had to have because they
What,
had
the
The
log?
money.
Does it say in his log he made it out there?
Yeah, he had the
So we
money.
go back to the lord.
Did it say that in his log though that he went to that town?
We didn't read the logs, but I'm sure it did.
Well,
because
we
he
need
had
to read the
money.
log
Okay, we'll read the log.
instead of going on a shopping spree.
We're not going on a shopping. We're not spending the money. It's not ours.
I can just imagine Jade and Jerry doing this.
In the middle of a show.
Yeah.
No, we would not be doing that in the middle of the shop.
But they would definitely be doing this quietly through glares.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
technically,
so.
we could both be doing it quietly through message.
That's fair too.
If we didn't crush his cranium with a large stone, we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. I'm sure we'd know more
Even if we
information.
hadn't have crushed his cranium with a large stone, all of the other coin strikers would still be dead.
You keep baiting her.
She's gonna throw a
Oh
stone
my
at you.
gosh. You took
Borrow
crack.
Bella's hammer and chuck a stone at you.
It would miss me and kill an innocent.
Bystander.
Probably.
Some
right.
4-year-old walking by.
Yeah,
all
with
happy
a
to be-
lollipop, a
The
balloon.
same height as Jerry.
Yeah.
I'll
All
remember
right.
this next time we need to
And then
save
come back
the
and Witch Lakes.
boulder.
There's a wanted poster.
So, Miss
Turn this
Bella,
taxi in when
you
you
want
see
to go
her.
back to that jewelry store?
No.
She carries a boulder around just to mount above wherever she's going to attack so she can push it over.
And that particular
Maybe we
jewelry
could do a
store felt very
layaway
high end.
process.
Mm-hmm. And it felt like they were lowballing me on some of my jewelry.
How much
that
are
I
the
was trying to sell
boulders?
to them.
True. It's like, that's someone's infused in your.
Gonna get the crown.
How much are large boulders at this store? Carry one with you in a back
You
set
know
in a
what? I would
backpack.
like to buy a levitation potion. I have a great idea now.
I do have levitation potions if you'd like one.
I would like to buy 2.
That'll be 1,500 gold apiece, please.
How much is it in platinum?
3,000 platinums would be, I mean, 3,000 golds would be 300 platinum.
I don't have any money. I don't even know what I would have.
You have 278 platinum.
Nice. Should
There
probably
you
write
go,
that
dear.
down somewhere.
No.
Thank you
It's in
for
the bottom
your
of my
business.
character
Just so I know
How
that
do I
I do actually
activate?
have
That's your
something.
and deactivate.
Oh, well, you drink
And
them
it
and then
even
you
says rose
levitate.
gold.
How long do they
That's your
last?
money.
Up to an hour.
Great. Could I? Oh, no, I was gonna say I should have whispered that. I don't want anyone else to know that.
Excuse me.
Do you want anyone else to know what, dear?
Oh, nothing.
These are your friends. You could trust them, right?
Friends is a mild term.
No, fair enough.
Colleagues.
Acquaintances that are going in the same direction, as they say.
You don't trust me.
Oh, not you. No, I just don't trust Jerry.
Okay.
I trust you enough that I can hide my body up in your tree. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm content up there.
Don't trust anything that can't grow hair.
All right. But technically, she can
It's
grow
like-
flowers.
It grows like little thin vines.
So your little shopping excursion takes up some time. It's late afternoon by the time you guys are back at the Vardo planning your next steps.
All right. You should probably head out.
Yep.
So with that, leaving Winchleach, heading onto the main road that heads due north up into Vasselheim, which will take you through some familiar territory for one of you. The Velspar,
Yes,
The
I get to
Velspar
see
Woods.
family.
eventually.
Stop. Sorry.
But we'll say this journey takes you, the first half of the journey takes you to the crossroads. And then once at the crossroads, you continue north for the first time. Actually, a familiar route for you and Morrow because you had come down from Vasselheim through the week and a half long journey down, bringing you into the crossroads to meet up with Pike's assemblage. All of you are now heading back north. So for you and Morrow, any kind of survival checks or nature checks from this point on will have advantage because it's familiar to the two of you. It's not considered unknown.
Heard you?
She gets advantage for different reasons, for her innate reasons with nature, and depending on what she prosecutes as ways to.
I think I already have
Understand.
advantage on nature too. So.
For the most part, we're going to.
Time skip.
Yeah, because we don't really like this is one of the most well-protected, well-traveled routes in and out of northern Othanzia. The highlands and the frontiers tend to be a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more wild, a little bit more difficult to manage. Everything north of the crossroads leading through the main routes up into the Velspar are well-traveled, well-protected. They even have designated areas that you can wait. There are plenty of traveling taverns and inns between the different jump-off points, and this place has become very overgrown and burdened with a lot of new opportunities for those that have been welcoming in individuals. So for the entirety of the travel, what do you guys want to work on as individuals, as a group? You have about a week and a half to accomplish some things. I've already rolled on weather. Weather's good. It's still, it's coming up to the end of summer for most parts. The wet travel weather's good. The rains aren't quite happening right now, although you're only about a month away from the beginning of the fall rains. It's the summer season in Vasselheim and in Othanzia, and for that matter, the continent of Issylra, is very cold and the summers are very short. So the weather change is coming. But you have about a week and a half to work on whatever you want to work during this part of the journey.
Who do you want to go first? You wanna go
Totally up
around
to
the
you
table?
guys.
Jerry? Do you know?
You do have a new traveling companion as well. And he calls himself D. D-E-E.
Hey.
Oh, so he does have a name.
He's decided after conversing with all of you, and he kind of like, there's a morning you guys are making breakfast on the travels. He kind of comes out still looking like more like the Yeti, but like a 3-foot tall, pudgy Yeti. I've decided with the name D, if that's acceptable.
That's a good name.
That sounds great.
Okay, like,
I would have called you Sunflower.
I want to study the book.
which one?
The book on the poison.
Okay, the Botanicals of Othanzia. Okay.
I'm going to work on healing potions
Okay, be doing some
And-
alchemy, tinkering, and brewing.
and perfecting magic missile.
Okay, practicing your magic missile and
Trying
understanding
to
of
up
it.
its damage.
Morrow, anything you want to marrow?
Yes.
Anything you want to work
I'm
on?
gonna
Good, doesn't it?
collect a couple of stout sticks along the way just to practice sparring with Willow.
Okay, so Will and
I'm
Morrow will spend a lot of downtime sparring with each other.
Two-handed working
Okay.
with my hands separately and not.
I have.
Bella, anything you'd like to work on during the trip?
I'm going to practice more with my little guardian. I'm keep stretching him as much as I can.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to ask you to help teach me the magic missile.
Jerry.
Thinking how I can get off this rock. I'm gonna converse a lot with D, find
Okay.
out any information that I might not know. I've been in a spaceship for a long time to get here, so he might have. They just came a little bit ago, so I mean,
They might have some more
Yeah.
information about where they came from,
right,
what's been going on versus the
Right.
fact that you've been here for a long time.
and kind of figure out more of like how to win him over to our side.
Mm.
And how maybe like what's his in relationship with the blue, and is he treated well? Is he,
In fact, they,
that kind of stuff? Maybe a little
during the
ways.
journey, you find it interesting that the blue has taken on this thing as a utilitarian kind of like function. Normally, they're just simply discarded.
Mhm.
This one seems to have not only been fostered, but given some abilities that they normally don't have, which you find interesting.
Mhm.
And we'll circle back to the
Okay.
conversation the two of you will have during your journey.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check for starters, Scarlett, as you begin to read your book.
I literally have a mental list.
I know you
Nice.
do. You are a mentalist.
Remember you
Genetics.
said no, not on that one. Investigation.
Yep.
6, 9,
Does she get advantage for it?
Is it marked for it?
9. So that would be the +3.
Is she proficient in
No.
that ability?
No,
Then she doesn't get advantage. It's a lot of complex botany mumbo jumbo. It's mostly discussing plants, the art of distillation of plants to get either the what they call, sometimes they call it the liquor of a plant, versus the internal kind of liquidity of any plant that can be kind of ground or pound into a paste. Some things are chewed, some things are masticated in different ways to get, it talks about some plants, they have to be kind of ripped up and can be used as a delivery method for smelling poisons. But a lot of it is complex botany, like at first, when you first start reading it. But it allows you to organize some notes and some thoughts. There is a extensive series of what they call complex poisons, and these are mostly relegated to a different group of mushrooms, which tend to be the most toxic. And there's 3 that strike your fancy, although it's going to take a lot more reading to understand how they work and where to gather them. One is called Bane Skull. Another one is called Azeduum, which is a form of almost like a lichen, it's a strangely colorful lichen, like of purples, yellows, and blues, but it's extremely toxic. And the third one that definitely grabs your interest is Bane's Willow, which is a flowery fungus that they seem to describe as only capable of growing in very kind of warm, damp areas. So it sounds very seasonal. Jade, for starters, give me a wisdom check as you begin to try to organize your thoughts around making an attempt at a potion.
14.
It's pretty complex. It's a excuse me. You've got to turn everything into a basic compound, and then the different compounds get added to a mixture methodology. And all that combined, if brewed correctly at the right temperatures and in the right conditions, can be distilled into a healing potion. And it's the variety of compounds that you use determine the strength of the potion. The stronger, the more complex it is to do it. 3 typical ingredients you might need for a healing potion. One is called an ice flower.
Add a page.
Grease.
Flower. How do I add a page? Okay, I'm just going to have to write it down here. Ice flower?
An ice flower is a little yellow-white flower that grows for about 2 weeks in fall. There's also something called ginseng root. It's mostly known for its antiseptic properties. And then the arcane nature of a healing potion is derived from any arcane component that a wizard might use for evocation spell casting. So a pinch of ash or a pinch of guano or different little pinches of minor components can be used as a base to give it its magical property.
Okay.
Now, based on that roll, we'll say one of the evenings you spend some time trying to put a series of compounds together. So go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Accidentally mix the poison instead.
15.
Okay. Now give me a performance check.
3.
3. So as you guys, one evening, all of you are circled around the campfire working on your individual tasks or having a meal and talking about the journey. On the other side of the Vardo, where Jade had set up a little kind of like still and place to practice the idea of the alchemy, you hear and there's a flash of red and yellow light from the other side of the Vardo. A puff of yellow smoke kind of courses up from behind the Vardo. Jade, roll a D100, please.
I really liked Jade.
I really like Jade. I feel free. Roll your marble. Roll your giant ball of numbers.
57.
Probably very if it fast.
I'm very even in the middle. 57.
57. You hear a coughing Jade come around the other side of the Vardo. She is bright green. Her fur is bright green. Her eyes are bright green. And every time she coughs, like bright green smoke comes out of her mouth.
I feel like we're more
Like
like we're
sisters.
you're trying to make.
I'm really hoping this doesn't last.
What's wrong with being green?
I like my normal coloring.
You don't want to be more like
You're rubbing off on her.
The more and more time goes on, I believe the more and more obvious we are.
That's
of
up to
who
you.
and what we are.
Would it work if I used half of it, though? That's the question.
I mean,
It'd be a short amount of time.
no, because potions are applications. So a potion has a single application of use. The only way it can be used for its maximum capacity is to use it in its entirety.
Okay.
You could always try to buy a potion with multiple applications in it, but these were sold as single use. But I love the idea. Genius.
I am going to take the widow's what's it called? The widow's bite, widow's bile,
Widow's bile.
The widow's bile
Okay.
potion that has the 3 applications left. And I'm gonna hand them to Scarlet and say you can probably use them better than I can.
A very green, lime green tabaxi.
No, I did that before I was green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's con save DC 17, and it does 12d12 poison damage.
Jesus.
Oh, it's powerful shit.
Where do we get that from?
That's what killed the turtle.
Where do
We got that from the shambling mound. The pile of dead bodies underneath that.
Oh gosh,
One I
yeah.
wanted to
The one where we killed a bunch of innocent people. Yeah,
No, you didn't kill him. You drowned him. It's
Drowned
different.
them. It's different. We didn't drown them. The
We
water
didn't hear
drowned
them. We
them.
didn't hear them screaming.
You know what I just thought the worst part is that if I remember correctly, I'm the one that came up with that idea too. So
Yeah.
not only did I kill people,
You're a
with
mass
bullet,
murderer.
I know.
You're worse than a murder hobo. You're a mass murder hobo.
She's a psychopathic serial killer. That's what she is.
Kiss, kiss, say.
Yeah.
No. She's worse. It's a regard that
Psycho killer.
it's like
Now I want to watch American Psycho.
one person versus many people situation. You chose.
You don't
many
have
people.
to.
You had to make
Just
the choice
wait.
to sacrifice it.
And somewhere out there in the high plains is a terrified, half-naked ogre running
With
around.
a spear in its back. Like it just healed and it's still in there. The skin just healed around it.
Kind of like you guys are traveling, you go by a campfire of all your survivors. Like they're all
Yeah.
watching
The
you as you
ogre's
go
huddled
by.
with a spear in him.
A Goliath with like a shattered rib cage.
A turtle with a cracked shell.
All I need now though is wind and fire, and I'll officially have all 4 elements of death.
You are the avatar.
Or elements of an awesome rock band.
Parts. So the
I
journeys
raised the
continue, the tasks
devil.
continue. Marrow and Willa, I almost called you Thea because you had your hand up. For every day of travel, as long as you spend 3 to 4 hours per day sparring, by the time you get to Vasselheim, you can either increase one of the two, either dex or strength.
Cool.
By the time you get there, and each of those can be increased by 1 permanently. But you have to dedicate 4 hours of your so like 2 hours of waking up, 2 hours before going to bed.
I only have to sleep for 4 hours, so I still.
True, but
Yeah.
he can't.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
he's still got a normal
I
8-hour
have
rest.
this potion supplement that only buff you up. Then Will is all going around. Will, come on.
During
He's like,
the
hey, calm
sparring,
down.
I'm going to work out getting those extra arms to do things. I'm going to work on bow stuff as well. So it's like
Okay.
so while I'm at rest and everybody else is sleeping, I'm going to work on the fog and poison spray stuff I got
Okay.
going on.
Yeah. Cloud kill.
Yeah. And while the Vardo is moving, I'm going to work on animating little familiar friends.
I kind of see you manipulating the natural environment by doing that.
Mhm.
Things that are in their kind of like sprouting condition. And as you practice doing that, the limitation is not directly known to you, right? So you just kind of
Basically, I'm trying to infuse
little
them with
puffs
kind
of magic from time to time, right?
yeah.
Jerry, you go to the back of the Vardo during the travels,
No, I don't.
and you swing open the flap,
I don't.
and then there's
I
Willa.
run.
There's
I slit my own
Willa,
throat.
kind of like little puffs of magic going the side of the road. And by the end of the morning, there's like this parade of of flowers and like tree leaves that have become insects, and it's just this menagerie. Now, in her mind, you're imagining it probably looks amazing to her. What she doesn't see, because of the way she glosses over reality, is that they're all malformed. They're like all aberrations.
Are they like
There's
screaming,
like-
kill me?
They're like
I've only got one heart and it's on the outside of my body. Kill me.
living ginger.
I mean, yeah, it's like at one point,
My nerve endings are exposed to the air. Help me. Please just
Willa
help me.
has like a Snow White moment where she picks up one of the
Right.
and she looks at it, she thinks it's beautiful.
so
You look at it and it goes. So we'll say, as long as you're practicing each day, perhaps they'll get better. You know, because it is an extension of your magic.
Yeah.
But you've never really tried this before.
No, not
So
on
rather
purpose
than using the
anyways.
extension of your magic for awareness,
Mhm.
you're trying to like manipulate the natural organics around you, and you're not very good at it yet because you've just gotten started.
Mhm.
So we'll start making some checks near the end of the travel
Okay.
and see how that goes.
See how I roll.
Yeah.
Since I roll so well.
Okay. Okay.
My explosive arm device, I activate it. Boop, 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 boop. And it starts counting down like the alien, like the predator. And I just lay back and relax.
No, 4
It'll all be over
triangles left.
soon.
Only 4 triangles left.
That's right. No, all right.
I think we're all a little punchy from a long weekend or long week.
We missed last week.
Yep. We missed last week, so we were camping.
Maybe
Um,
next time for my birthday. For birthday.
So I'll say, Bella, as long as you take some time each day to work on it, your spiritual weapon will double in size by the time you reach Vasselheim.
How much more damage does it do?
And it's a representation of the limitation of the spell, so its size doesn't matter. It's just how she chooses it to look
You
more and
let
more
these
like a
go.
real dragon.
You're letting all these go?
But it's starting to
Size
get
does
bigger.
matter.
It can maybe pick up
Just made
things
it bigger.
more. Maybe.
That
Size
is a
doesn't matter.
possibility as we're
Well,
working
you know,
on
she
that
was
as
working on it with her
manipulation
hands.
of the
That's right.
magic as
Can it
well.
slowly turn it into
You
like,
gotta do
not
that
just
one. I can't do it.
A weapon, but like a astral dragon or something?
I mean, she's going to tap
Don't let me
into
down.
the arcane realm to make
We're-
that.
To where like she
Happen.
doesn't even have to
Yeah.
tell him what to
And-
do anymore. It just is autonomous.
It's just big and does what it wants.
So, Jerry, during one of your moments of travel,
When I don't have a migraine.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Dee notices you watching Willa, what she's doing,
Mhm.
and you just kind of sit down, just staring at Willa, just shaking your head, and you feel Dee's presence nearby. That's interesting. Why do they think this world is worth saving? I do not understand.
Yeah, my report's not looking good. Matter of fact, every day I'm with that one, the report's not looking good.
Well, she is a very uncommon representation of their species. That's the fairest way. to put it.
True.
Well,
She
you're
is an anomaly, but
Why did you choose halfling as a gray? You could have been anything. Why a halfling?
they're looked on as not being overly important and kind of like diminutive and not very, something that's impressive or something that could injure you where they would be overly violent towards you.
The blue took on the persona of a Marquisian, someone who hails from a place called Marquette.
Oh.
He said he enjoyed the look of the exotic. You
Hmm.
know what that means?
Does he have hair?
Poorly constructed. He put on a thing called, well, they call it a wig.
Oh.
They make them here where you can make it look like you have hair. Every time he magically tried to grow hair, it wouldn't work. Something to do
He
with,
tried to use magic?
well, their magic, sure.
Why? Of course it didn't work.
Well, it was a liquid substance that he rubbed on his head.
The magic of Rogaine.
You asked me if I was going native, but it actually sounds like he's going native.
Well, he's trying to do his best to fit in.
No, okay.
He comes from the land of Rogaine.
That's my planet. There's no forestation on the top of the planet.
In regards to that abandoned abandoned ship that you and your friends blew up.
Hmm.
Did you perhaps go back and take samples after the fact, or did you merely leave it as is?
Well, it was exploding, and we
Well, yes, but
we got far away from
You
it.
would have wanted to know for sure if any of that mutagenic material had gotten out.
Well, I'll have to worry about that later.
Do you remember what happened?
Oh, you mean when the last one created Vecna? No. Oh, I almost got you. All right. No, I don't. What happened?
That planet was consumed by the mutagenic effects. I believe it was a much older model of the ship, not one of the ones that it sounds like you encountered for sure.
It wouldn't be such a bad thing.
You're watching like Willa pick up one of the magical
Eat it.
creatures, and she's like, she doesn't notice anybody looking at her. She just eats it.
Was that planet's designation Coronavirus?
Right.
Well, anyways,
Well,
what do you give them their odds? 50-50 at this point?
Comes back out.
I mean, there's so many worlds like this. I can only imagine
what's one less?
what's
Grows out of your
especially
hair.
if they're a threat to the balance of the empire.
Well, yeah, so that's what I can't figure out yet. So I'm still waiting.
Give me an insight check.
Let's not let this one talk anymore.
Come on, insight check. Insight check. 14.
No divine has ever been this vocal.
Yeah. What makes you so talkative?
What do you mean? We're sentient. We can talk.
I know, but I haven't met many of your kind that talk so much. Not that it's a bad thing, but
Oh, well, I just...
It's because they get run over by your spaceship.
Well, anyways, nice talking to you. He watches, he just kind of slinks off. Doesn't seem to want to talk anymore.
mm-hmm.
He did not do a very good job of being deceptive. He was uncomfortable with the question.
Okay.
You guys are now halfway on your journey.
Do you want me to stick my my army of miniature ne'er-do-wells?
It's like in Toy Story where all the aberrations are crawling towards the creature.
Little tiny dragon.
I just think
versus
of
tiny plants.
Kermit and Miss Piggy's baby. That's what I think of.
D, you must learn to be nice to
It's like puking in the back.
Except
Was
it's
that a
not
Family Guy episode I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
right? Oh my god, that's so funny.
D, you must learn to not lie.
Let's see.
Oh,
So you guys are about halfway through your journey. The
Guys,
green
totally
tint
not
of your
actually
fur is
really.
finally beginning to fade.
Oh, thank goodness.
Do you want to take another attempt?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
We're gonna roll higher.
Yeah, if you want to. Feel free.
Because I'm just like, I'm kind of curious about, like, why are you green?
What do I
You
know
I'm
about
green.
their psychic abilities?
So does that mean I get advantage?
Give me a history check on that.
If she helps, does that mean I get advantage?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
A 12.
12.
Yeah.
They're a very kind of introverted, secretive, kind of clandestine, sentient species.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you accidentally run in them as the norm, there's not really enough to know about them because most people just discard them as a nuisance. But clearly the blue has decided to make use of it. And it's just very strange at how vocal and interactive it is, because your only known interaction with one is you caught it kind of like trying to consume the fuel cells on your ship, and you just pulled it out and you threw it out into space and you kept going.
Right.
It even screamed a horrible death when you tossed it. So,
Right.
you know, or at least it was acting like it was, whether it did or not, you don't care. They're just mostly annoying. This one seems surprisingly informative and well versed.
It's a cherry pet.
Okay.
What'd you get?
I think Jerry needed a pet, so you know,
Yep.
Jason provided. I got an 18.
He already
18.
has a master. Another-
Now give me performance with advantage. Sorry, sleight of hand with advantage
I already
for
have sleight-
starters.
I already have advantage on sleight of hand.
Oh, well,
Does that mean she gets like a +5 or something?
14.
14. Now give me performance with advantage because you had advantage on both rolls.
Don't be green again.
Like how about blue?
19.
19. The two of you work on it for the better part of the evening. By the end of the evening, there's you kind of hold it, you pour the last compound in, and there's like a little spatter of yellow and pink. And then you watch as the gas inside the vial begins to crystallize and turn into a liquid as you're looking at about a small amount of healing potion.
Woo!
It's not a true application, but you made a little bit of it. You got the components right, the compound right, the heat and the way that they were brought together was almost dead on. A couple more times, you might be able to make a basic healing potion in its full effect. Anybody else want to do something specific for the second half of the travels? You can do more reading, Scarlet, if you want to.
I want to show her magic missile.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You guys are working on Magic Missile. I would say as long as you're practicing this for the second half of the trip, by the time you get to Vasselheim, you can begin to bring a single dart into existence, and you're able to cast at least one dart per day at this point. Not a true understanding of the spell itself, but just the sheer practice of bringing one in and using it is a bit exhaustive. And it does some basic damage when you use it.
Can I shoot?
No, they do 1d2 plus 1. At least that's what he told me. Right
I
now.
would say by the time you get to Vasselheim, you'll be 1d3 plus 1. Because you have, by practicing and showing her how it works, showing her the arcane invocations and using the components as a way to express the creation of the magic missile, you're getting better at it.
That was my hope.
2 points of damage.
You can kill one of her pets.
Well, I guess starting the second half, it's like while they're practicing that, I would like to write notes about like how the healing potion was going, how we
Okay.
worked together.
So
we have
you're
a book.
journaling. You're
Yeah.
We have the
journaling.
book.
But that was just the first part, just to see how the
Yeah,
results
but
went.
we have the healing potion book.
Yeah, the book teaches you how to do it.
Yeah.
But the results have to be
Written down.
written down.
We can just write them.
That would give you some advantages and lower DCs when you continue. So yeah, I'll say you keep a journal of the results of her alchemy.
I put healing potion notes.
Okay, fair.
Do I get to talk to family while we're here in the forest?
You haven't quite reached the Velspar yet.
Okay.
You're getting close, but you're not quite there yet. That'll be the last day of the journey, taking you through the Velspar Wood and then up into Vasselheim proper itself.
Because I mean, I'm
grab
already
some
killing
water.
1,001 people. I might as well learn how to heal them too.
There's a giant chest of coins.
Okay, just
here.
wait till the
Oh,
GM
Z,
leaves,
we don't
guys,
have
so
a
we
bed
can talk
here
in
for you, baby
private.
girl.
She's been so good.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do when the GM comes back. Okay.
Nothing is private.
You know
We're
what?
surrounded by trees.
I don't trust this thing. I don't think it's even what it says it is.
Why?
I don't know. I just have a funny feeling this is like gonna be the best.
You think he's the
I'm
big guy?
paranoid.
You think he's the big guy?
What?
You think he's the BBAG?
I think he's a wizard in disguise, and he's studied you guys enough to interact.
Maybe
with
he
you like
tortured the
of-
one that's dead
Don't
that
eat the lizard.
and found out about him and then made himself into one
Not a
so he
lizard,
could
currently
lure
he's
me.
a yeti.
Don't eat D.
So does anyone have any restrictions when it comes to cake next week?
I eat everything, which is
We'll talk
part
about
of my
this
problem.
afterwards.
No, they gotta know.
No, after this, when we're done, then we'll talk about it.
I will definitely, if I do something similar, I will
When you
check
still
the
want it to
ingredients
be
on the back.
announced.
to see if there's
She's
any
back.
nuts.
He's back.
And mom's
Happy
still here
birthday
with
to
the-
you!
And mom's still here with the cake.
As far as I know. I
Sebastian.
said, happy birthday to you!
Not
That's
yet.
Monday.
Monday's actually her birthday.
Oh my
Happy
god!
birthday to you!
What do you want for your birthday?
25 again, right?
I always say like
12? 12 again?
No, totally 12.
12.
Yeah.
it's like I'm 21 with 10 years of experience or something.
I don't want to admit how many years of experience I have from 21. Thank you very
can
much.
stay at 30. 30 is a good year.
Actually, I have actually no problem telling people my age.
30 is a lot of fun.
But 32, that sucks.
It does.
Try 57.
I'm
57
I'm
blows.
turning 32.
Ass.
We're the same age.
But when I'm 67, I'll be wishing I was 57.
Yeah,
so you know
exactly.
what? Be happy with the age you are right now.
Guess
'Cause
what day I'm
it ain't
turning
getting any better,
32.
folks.
You know, you don't really get younger when you get older. You continue to age.
So it'll fall on your
Better at
birthday
yelling
as
at
well.
kids on my lawn. You know,
I don't know if I'll be close with
It's like a
Halloween.
painted lawn. It's like a
yeah.
painted green
painted rocks.
square.
Painted rocks.
Yeah.
Painted green
Get off
rocks.
my green rocks.
I want to go trick or treating.
Which is funny, which
Exactly.
is
People are gonna
it's great.
Yeah.
need to be places
Blue.
on Halloween.
Yeah. We will be coming back. Well, actually,
Ooh,
All right.
pass me the
I'll be
cranberries,
working
would
that
you?
day. So yeah.
What do we do?
Thank you.
What's
It's up
next?
to you. You got the
That's
second
my
half of the
last
journey at this
official
point.
day.
Oh,
That's my last.
I'm gonna learn kung
spot.
fu.
You're gonna sit in your magical chair and get wired up. I know kung fu.
I know kung fu now.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
All of my little
I
shreds.
need
No
weapons.
kung
Lots
fu.
of weapons.
You just flick them.
And one little one that's got vines doing Tai Chi. You know the worst part is I have a picket that we could use as an example. Yeah. The things I have.
All right, so we're continuing on.
You tell me.
You have to pick another thing you're working on for
Oh,
the second half.
You're in the second half of the
Already
journey.
did.
The first half, you're
You
a
already
week is
did
gone.
one.
You have a week left,
Another
and
week.
then we'll do the Velspar Wood as the last entry point up into Vesselheim once you get there.
I'm pretty sure my stuff is already covered for both the entire travel.
For you and Marrow, to a certain extent, yeah. You can give me a nature check and an arcana check as you're trying to figure out how to improve upon summoning your little beasties.
Okay, nature.
it's against nature.
Nature, that's an 8.
Okay.
Even and it's a 5 for a crown. I can't roll for. Every time I try to do, because like I have this plan. This is what I'm working on, and it doesn't work.
I'm imagining
You're working
at
on
some
it, just not
point,
working out very good.
you notice D in his Yeti form and
Mhm.
its Yeti form staring out the rear of the
Mhm.
Vardo. Like you stand there for a moment, D doesn't even recognize you and then looks at you and goes, I can't believe they allow her to do this. And the aberrations look worse now. Like some of them are fused together. She mistaken like a dead squirrel as part of the act. So there's like this rotted squirrel that's kind of like
Following along.
you know,
Are you suggesting that I might have mild necromantic powers?
I'm suggesting
I'm
that
gonna
you-
take this failure and run with
you
it.
might. And D just shakes their head and they're like, this is 49.51, I think, after this trip. Yeah, 49.51.
Standard brain wipe. Yeah.
As in blowing up their planet should wipe everybody's
Oh.
brains clean. Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
I
Just
just
say.
got the idea of flooding a dead body with my vine stuff and turning them into a plant zombie.
You little meat puppets.
And I found some of the
And she thinks
ingredients for
that-
making a potion, and I'm gonna put some of these poor things out of their misery.
Well,
They make it into a spray.
Those
Just
are our targets for the magic missile.
Yes, yeah, they aren't supposed to.
He watches Jade goes, watch this. Brings it up and sends it. The
Squirrel
undead
one.
squirrel. It's like, it hits it.
And seeds go everywhere. Sprouting.
Give me a fresh investigation as you read some more of your book. The Botanicals of Othanzia.
I'm probably gonna have to buy that dice tower as this sign.
13.
13.
Yeah, I've got sucky rolls.
You learn that the book is parsed out in regional sections. You discover that the area that you're going to be in for the foreseeable future is called the Northeast subregion. and you now have access to about 20 different botanical fauna or flora that you would have access to. 3 of the prime components of healing potions are in this region, as well as a prime component of cold resistance is in this region. So this could be information you could share with Jade in a future reference if you chose to. But it's a big book. I mean, it's a nice, very texty built book, so it's got a lot of stuff in it. Anybody else want to do anything?
I want to teach my children to read.
As I shoot them.
Yeah. So Willa's got this corrupted flower and this rotted kind of mole over here, and its tongue kind of lolls out of its skull.
Oh,
She's
so
reading to it, trying to get them to read. 2 of you practice magic missile. They just get obliterated on her shoulders. She looks around and picks up 2 fresh little friends to put on her shoulder, and she's teaching them how to read. I mean, I can't think of a better way to pass the time when you're traveling through safe.
And that's where we're going to end tonight.
And then as we're stopping for the night and stuff, I want to look for any of the ingredients for healing potions.
Okay.
Cherry's tame compared
I
to
would
you
like
two.
to help her.
And I will look for the ingredients for my poisons.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
As I root myself.
Who are you helping? Are you helping Jade?
Yeah, well, they're looking for potion.
Well, I'll
materials.
say if you use your your
Yeah.
nature awareness,
I
you
could
both will get advantage on your survival checks.
Okay.
So 2 of you can give survival checks with advantage because of Willa helping you.
I already do.
I'm going to work
I
on
still
my
think if they already have advantage, they should get a plus to
No.
should be a thing.
my
Well, it
counter
works.
spell, which is actually
+1,
my disbelief in their
+2,
very
something like
magic
that.
itself. So
Okay.
I'll work on that.
19.
18.
18.
You find about roll a d4 for me. Scarlet, roll a d4 for me as well.
The plants say that they are good for these properties,
You find
They asked you to
3
repeat the
ounces of
seeds.
Skull's Bane.
so that they may
One.
continue to
1.
spread.
You find 1 ounce of guano ash, which can be used as a component, as a base arcane component for a healing potion.
Definitely should get a pet bat for that reason.
Anybody else want to do anything?
Hi.
Belladonna, anything you want to do?
Would you like to turn into the pet
They're
bat?
going out searching for ingredients, right?
They were, yeah.
Could I try
Yeah.
to meditate and see if I can get my little dragon to grab things like look for things that maybe I found in the notes?
Yeah, I would say, because your relationship is more divine than arcane.
It's like a great
Like a divination spell.
Spiritual weapon as a mage hand.
Well, because you use your dragon as a spirit guardian, correct?
Yeah.
Do you want everything to be dragon themed for the
Basically,
most part? So,
most
like
part.
maybe your mage hand is a dragon claw, and maybe your spiritual weapon is
Still takes the form of a tiny dragon.
yeah, and stuff like that. But your spirit guardian, I would say, the one thing that you could possibly do better with on it is spirit guardian for now focuses on you. In an attempt to try to get it to interact with the natural environment around you, and you kind of increase its size and manipulate it and try to manage its magical properties and its divine kind of intent of its properties. I'll say by the time you get to Vasselheim, when you cast Spirit Guardians now, someone else can be its focus. So you could cast it on
Someone else.
Jade, and they would inherit the protection of the Spirit Guardian.
Would it be a touch spell or would it be arranged?
It'd be ranged. Yeah, I'm okay with it being ranged.
Maybe 60?
60 feet, I think, is a good range.
Ranged spirit guardians.
And it's concentration. It'll still maintain its concentration value. But rather than being self, you can pick a target now. And that'll be your major accomplishment by the time you reach Vasselheim. Jerry, any last minute stuff you want to work on before we get to the Velspar?
Just my counterspell. / I don't believe in their dumb magic.
So it's not a
But you're
counterspell,
working on a
it's just
counterspell
a-
ability that's more of a psionic base than
It's all psionic based.
yeah, for you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me but we're still making you highly proficient in Arcana. You just treat it more. So give me an intelligence check for starters as a base number.
Can I pick up Jerry? Dixie?
I'm sucking tonight. 12.
12. Give me an Arcana check as well.
Not as
Come
bad
on,
as
Arcana
you
check.
rolled.
Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. 20.
Woo!
Ooh.
Finally.
Nice. You begin to realize that your psionic ability is indifferent to its outcome. Because everybody who believes and practices the art of magic, there is one common thread in what they do. When they go to invoke their interpretation of the spell that they use, it's an intelligent kind of release of the arcane energy that they keep in their mind. Your counterspell is more of like a psychic response to that. And it's an interrupter as opposed to a traditional spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you get to Vasselheim, you have practiced and done well enough that when we'll say as a reaction,
Mm-hmm.
twice per day,
Okay.
you can interrupt somebody trying to cast a spell. But it's purely psionic driven. Now, they'll be challenged by that ability. So for now, they have to make a save of DC 15 on an intelligence save to defeat your interruption. And it's only either success or failure. There's no half measures.
Interrupt spell, 2 times per day, and they have to make a save.
DC intelligence, DC 15 or higher
Intelligence.
to resist the effect of your disruption.
DC intelligence 15. Okay. Okay.
Conch just gets more sassy on the trip.
All right.
When does the conch doesn't start talking when we're not asking a question?
See, that's the question. When she start talking, if we don't pull the string when the string's broken. Now she has free range of talking.
It's been nearly 12 days. The Zenwick mountain range can be seen above a rather interesting timberland. The Vesper timberland for many centuries has been a dangerous place. Many free-ranging monsters and creatures had once, found safe harbor for themselves here, but unfortunately, an organization within Vasselheim, pull it up, make sure I get it right. I think they were in an organization called the Slayer's Take. For the last 200 years have been operating unimpeded in this region. And not only have they tamed the Vesper Timberland, but for the most part, this entire area is now devoid of what they called wildlings and wild monsters and uncontrollable kind of leftover creatures of the pre-Vecna and the immediate post-Vecna era. Hydras used to wander these woods. Other nefarious and darkened creatures used to wander this wood. But now it's been made safe for travelers. So a more direct route into Vasselheim through what's called the Don Marshall's Road. And the Don Marshall's Road was specifically built as a way to allow people access to Vasselheim without being under any kind of threat whatsoever. There's many stopping points. There were some stopping points through the Othanzian northern highlands that led up to the Vesper, but you're seeing more people now. You're seeing more farmland. You're seeing cattle ranches and sheep ranches and horse ranches. With the stability of the Othanzian region up here, As more people migrate here, there's more opportunity, and the population has boomed and exploded over the course of 200 years. Almost everybody throughout Exandria has used this opportunity to come and try to settle here, to try to make a life for themselves here, because it is considered one of the very few unspoiled regions of Exandria where people feel like they can still find their way into a different future, into a different calling, or a different perspective, so to speak. This opportunity is the first time that Willa's been back in what she believes to be her foundling region, a place she believes herself to be from. And it's his last day of travel within the Velspar that there is a noticeable quiet. The trees here are huge, immensely huge. Some of the oldest trees in the land. Some were mere saplings that survived the original calamity of over a millennia ago. And now they stand 200-300 feet tall. They sway in the breezes of the day, as you're not the only travelers coming through. The caravans come and go with a bit of decent regularity. The summer season is beginning to close. The short, hot cycles are beginning to become a little bit cooler. The nights have definitely become a lot cooler. There's a particular area that's not too far off the main Don Marshall Road. For you, Willa, this reminds you of your founding, your existential belief that this is where you're from.
Mhm.
The Vardo makes camp there. It's maybe only, a quarter mile away from the road. And you could see other campfires. You could see other people kind of enjoying this final bit of their journey before either leaving to the expanses of the southern Othanzians, or they've arrived into the northern Othanzian. And always the beacon at the base of the first Zenwick pillar, the Zenwick mountain where the Heaven Stair exists, where the Azure Hammer to this day still mines and pulls all the rare elements out of the primordial Earth Titan that had collapsed into the Zenwick pillar. And here, Vasselheim, the city lights can be seen. Like, they're muted pinpoint lights, but considering how far you are from it, it might as well be, a bright beacon of just a horizon of, looking down into the valley, seeing Vegas for the first time, just this cascading, sparkling city.
There is no night. There is only day and night day.
Yeah. And you could see it, the light kind of serpentines up and into the Zenwick pillar. You could see every now and then, you could actually see the bright flashes of the Heaven Stair forges that are owned by the Azure Hammer. And every now and then, even as you sit deep in the woods, you can see through the canopy of trees, and every now and then, looking up at the mountainscape, you can see like a flash of red as a forge is lit for a 24-hour cycle of work. And these great forges are known throughout most of Exandria. Many people travel here to learn to apprentice to the red forges. But it's the last night of your travels. In the morning, you'll start up the main path that leads you into the Zenwick Valley and up into the pillar staircase and up into the Zenwick pillar itself and the great expanse that is known as Vasselheim.
Are we wary of going back?
You tell me.
We're not. Are you?
Because this is where we came from.
Oh, we've done this a couple of times since we started it, right? 'Cause you said we've known each other for what, a year?
The other members of the
three of
Azure
us.
Hammer, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
didn't know
this
Belladonna
is-
until you met her
You
on the
didn't
road.
know us.
No.
Right.
They just came down from here.
That's-
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call setting the stage for an RP moment.
And
Yeah,
we were running. we were leaving from there.
So are they? She was asking, are they?
Yeah.
Wary.
I don't know. Their backstories, not mine.
If you're uncomfortable, I can always dress you in leaves.
There was someone I left behind that I didn't want to find me again?
I don't think I'm supposed to stay in the city for very long. My friends said that it was better that I got out of
Okay.
there. But I don't think I'm not allowed to come back. I've seen them since then.
I left a gentleman there who would like to see my head upon a platter.
Would you like to see his?
Indeed.
Well, if you see him, just let us know.
Parker, job opportunity.
Get a boulder.
Get a boulder.
Yeah, but that won't
That
put his
levitation
head
spell.
on a platter. But that won't put his head on a platter. That'll turn
Now
his head
pour it on the
into a
boulder.
platter.
Now pour the levitation on the boulder.
Well, that's nothing wrong with it. You flatten the head, you know, put some kind of lacquer on it, you fire it. Then you have a head plate.
You absorb it.
I've created an actual monster, I think.
Look at the bones.
I thought she was gonna do this sweet little
I
dryad
know.
There
nymph
are no
thing.
bones because they're all inside her.
Like, oops, I'm
She just becomes like a bone tree,
Right.
a necromancer. Like doesn't even speak anymore, just like makes horrible noises and makes dead things shoot out of her mouth and like form and like attack stuff.
God, you guys
Write
are-
that down.
undead
So, anyways,
vomiting.
being undead.
Your abominations now in my head.
Yes! Oh my gosh, it's an adorable
Oh,
abomination.
no.
You're such a good artist.
Let's
It's like
see.
a leafy squirrel
She made
thing.
an abomination.
So perfect.
Oh
So
my
true.
gosh, you need to like
It's like half
You need to-
squirrel,
you need to
leaves
scan
are kind
that.
of going through.
you need to scan the computer through on the art tab. So everybody can see.
The little minion leaves though in my head because the ones that you keep eating just have these little faces on the inside.
So, anyways,
So right now, you guys all sit around the campfire amongst this huge forest.
I'm not sitting by the fire.
Well, you know what I mean.
I might be talking to the trees though.
It's your call.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm like tempted to grab one of your berry.
I have to
minion
give
ones.
them a report after all. I have a mission.
Do you disappear, or do you still kind of maintain your silhouette of distance, like the ability to be seen, or do you want to kind of melt into the forest?
Depends on how close we are to Mama and Papa Tree and Grandpa.
Give me a nature check as you kind of feel out deeper into the Velspar.
That's a 5 and a 2 for a 7.
Yeah.
I can't roll tonight.
you're-
Everything is dex checks. I'm not casting any. They can roll, not me.
You get the distinction that the forest has become less magical. You're not sure why. There's no sentient awareness as you reach out into the forest. There's no sense of its magic. It's strange.
Like something's sapping it.
It's definitely strange.
That concerns me. That's going to make me wander into the forest
Okay.
looking.
Scarlet, what's your passive perception? And Jade, what's your passive?
12.
12.
Ivory's is worse.
Just regular perception, or
It is your
oh,
wisdom.
passive. Okay.
Wisdom? It's wisdom. Your wisdom bonus.
Okay. 10.
It's 10 plus your bonus.
Oh, okay.
What's your plus on wisdom?
That's-
What is your
that's
wisdom?
fine.
What's my wisdom? Okay. Wisdom or wisdom. Wisdom is 0.
So it would be 10.
You guys don't know when it happened, but at some point you notice Willa's not around. She's just merely gone.
Did the forest eat Willa?
Can I? Do you still have your little minion things around?
Well,
They follow you.
like I said, they only last for a while and then they plant themselves.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, you didn't really bring any new ones into existence. I mean, it's It can be exhausting on your magical ability to do it. I mean, because you're still practicing how it works. I would say you see the planted remains of some of them, like maybe she was experimenting with them earlier, and now there's just like little patches of freshly blooming like plants that maybe she was manipulating, but that's really all you see.
Which direction are they?
You mean survival check?
Because I see it. Should I do a survival check too?
Sure.
Did you guys say anything to anybody else?
15.
15.
Well, I said, did the forest eat Willa?
Okay. So I'm gonna try and look for Willa.
Okay, give me a survival check as you kind of examine.
20.
30-20. Okay.
And I have dark vision of 60 feet, so I'm gonna.
That's currently muted by the fire. If you were to get deeper into the darkness, it would become more prevalent for you to use.
I think I might
19.
19.
grab one.
I would say between the three of you stand there, you know, with Jerry and Scarlet looking on. Even D is by the fire, kind of drinking from a bottle. Very weird
Has
creature.
he eaten anything?
Is he
No,
drinking
he's
my
never
beer?
eaten anything, but he drinks on a regular basis. But Bella, Jade, and
Marrow.
are kind of staring in the direction you think she went. There's that strange mix of plant growth and disturbance at the same time. Her tracks are not always that easy to follow because of her natural embrace with the woods, especially here. They feel much more integrated with this place. Her behavior has gradually become a bit eccentric, even for her, the more that you guys have gotten deeper into these woods. There's definitely a connection. And either through frustration or lack of knowing, she just seems to have wandered off in a very northwesterly direction into the Velspar. But you can see her path.
Until it
I'm gonna follow the
disappears
trail.
because I used Tree Stride, the one spell that I haven't
Eventually.
actually used on my list.
Yeah, eventually that's what you would end up doing because you want to get in amongst the trees that you believe to be magical.
Mhm.
Everyone has their own path. We must continue.
And I become one with nature again.
Jerry's like, seems like she has found her path. Good luck, Willa.
I'm gonna follow the path. I'm gonna follow
Yeah,
the
I'm
trail.
gonna
Okay.
follow.
Marrow?
Yeah.
Okay, the three of you begin to follow. Scarlet, what are you doing with your time?
I'm gonna scout around the surrounding area because something feels off.
Okay.
I'm taking Ivory.
Give me a investigation. Well, if you want to be cautious and careful, give me a stealth check for starters. Are you taking Ivory with you?
Hmm. Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Now give me investigation as you cautiously begin to look about the area.
Just one. 20.
20.
Plus.
Nice.
Oh. 23.
23. Even better. Morrow and Jade and Bella, as the three of you with Ivory in tow, follow the path as best you can. You're far enough away from the camp to barely be able to see the fire by the time you lose her trail. And it's very specific the way her trail kind of melts into the environment, almost as if the environment itself just kind of swallowed her. And you don't know if she's being purposely stealthful or she is just so into the idea of being where she is, but you lose track of her. There's no sign of passing. There's no sign, but you being here and looking in these woods, you hear the night noises, the cicadas, the wind kind of slapping into the canopy and the twigs kind of all snapping against each other. It feels a little safe here. You're not sure why, but there's an underpinning to this place that you can't quite put your pulse on. your experience is wholly different. You circle back and up towards the main bend of the road that will begin to take you up into the rocky landscape of the Zenwick, that will eventually take you to the main route up towards the pillar and into Vasselheim proper, and eventually closer to the Heaven's Stair. As you stand here looking around, it's eerily quiet. You look over your shoulder to see the campsite. It's maybe about 125 feet behind you. So you're far enough away from the campfire that your dark vision begins to kind of narrow and blend in with the scenery. And you're kind of just looking around, squinting with your dark vision. And you're not sure what it is, but you catch a flash of movement out of the right of your eye. And you kind of turn, and there's something in the undergrowth of the trees and shrubs. And you just kind of hear that guttural, like a growl. You can see two bright red eyes looking back at you from underneath. And then you smell it. Sulfur. The familiar smell of a tracker hound. And there's just a brief moment that his face kind of forms in your mind. And then you just watch as the hound kind of disappears out into the depths of the forest, heading towards the direction of Vasselheim.
You found me.
Willa, you've been wandering for the better part of an hour.
Mhm.
Give me another nature check.
That's better. 18.
18.
Best roll I've had all night, everyone.
Hey.
After using your tree stride,
Mhm.
and you move faster and quicker, you know it's here somewhere. You stumble into an opening. It's the grove. It looks familiar to you.
Mhm.
This is where the magic should be emanating from.
Mhm.
As you stumble out into the grove, and you look around. There is a 120-foot diameter ring, as it has always been there. But in the middle should be a small pond of crystal clean water. And on the rise at the center of the pond should be a little mound where the two trees should be. The water is gone. All the vegetation rotted and long collapsed in on itself. The two trees are stumps. Nothing there. Shattered stumps, piles of wood and detritus, and a dead pond. No life around it. There are small gray patches of rot emanating from this spot, and little tendrils of kind of like these thin wisps where green is on either side of the wisp. The wisp itself is just ash and just smells of just rot. Nothing can grow there. And as you reach out with your natural senses to feel the magic of the pond, it's devoid. It's gone. None of it's here. Just a malignancy that seems to be spreading from this point. This dark sense that you can't quite seem to shake. And you look around frantically for any signs. Give me a perception check as you begin to look around.
Well, hi.
It's all
Natural 1.
I'm panicking.
You stumble around and you look and you search. You scratch at the ground. You drive your vines into the cracked surface. You upheave the turf that's both dead and alive, and you're searching. You're trying to find something, some resemblance, some kind of piece or fragment of what should be here. You can't find it. The torture of this moment. Three of you hear a wail that's so kind of piercing and shrieking. You're not even sure what made it, but it's the sound of pain and agony. You at the top of the road, staring off where that tracker hound disappears, his face baked into your mind. Jerry, you're not sure when it happened, but you're the only one in camp right now.
Mm-hmm.
With D. Wait, Bella came with?
Yes.
Bella went with you.
So I rolled a dirty 20.
As you sit there, kind of looking around, wondering where everybody went, there was commentary and discussion, but everyone just kind of very much Lord of the Rings, just suddenly weren't there.
Right.
And you're the only one in camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear a voice. Well, that took long enough. So, Jerry. And there's Dee leaning up against the Vardo, only they've polymorphed back into their form. The familiar, grimy-looking wizard with the long, oil-slicked hair, the goatee. Move.
The Trendo guy?
And they're standing leaning up against the Vardo. You know, when we took the other two apart, we thought for sure we'd found you. However, gotta tell you, that tree creature that was with you, and that dwarf that I followed back toward your Vardo, when I saw you, Jerry, and he leans away from the Vardo and begins to kind of circle you and kind of distance, like he's aware of you. He knows what he thinks you're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And Trendo just kind of looks at you. So, do you come back in one piece or many? You're worth a lot to me alive. I can honestly say, taking you back dead would be such a waste of such an important piece. Been running a long time, Jerry. Long time. I'm not really sure how our trackers, I'm not sure what they fell victim to. They were given the notes, the descriptions, and all the diagrams to know how to look for you. But out of a desperate act, I decided to act on my own, and here we are. Here we are.
What do you want with me?
I want to know where you're from. I want to know what makes you you. I want to know why I have all this information about a species that doesn't originate from here. Yet, here you are. I got to admit, this particular getup that you're in is interesting to say the least. A hairless white halfling. Who would ever think that there's anything odd about that?
Golly gee. I want to do something right now, and I don't know if it's going to go well.
Do it!
Do it!
I don't know.
Ask the con.
No.
God.
And now he's circling away from you, like always keeping,
Yeah.
like he's keeping that respectful distance.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some questions in your own mind that come to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
How would he know to talk about the blue and the red? How does he know all of this information? Where did this all come from? He put together a perfect disguise and hatched it. He knew where to find you.
He's one of the. What did you call him? No. The one of the aliens. The first ones that came, the forebearers.
Maybe.
Are you a forebearer?
He just smiles.
It might make a difference why I'm going to go with you.
I would say, I'm not familiar with your version, but let's just say I've been here a very long time, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go home. I don't want to stay here anymore. And somewhere in between those eyes and ears is the way home. Help me get home. That's all I need, Jerry. Now, my partners, well, they're of this place.
Mm-hmm.
I've convinced them that you're a magical, celestial creature. That you are a harbinger of the coming of a great divine fortune. And a great divine prophecy. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of story to track you down. the golden ravens are a bit limited in creativity, but I don't want to be here. And if you're here for the reason that I think you're here, that recent explosion out in the frontier,
Mm-hmm.
the gentleman that you let go by chance, we'd kept him there for a long time.
Yes, we did.
That forebearer is dangerous, not to be trusted.
How do I know you're not to be trusted?
Oh, well, you can't know that, can you, Jerry? Unless I allow you into my mind. I could allow you into my mind, Jerry, and you can see 1,000 years that I've been here. But in order for me to let you do that, you have to agree to come back with me to Vasselheim. Agree to come back with me to the Golden Ravens laboratories and consent to study and questions.
Not vivisection.
Well, as a form of study, but I will do my best to make sure they don't do that. See, there are some that believe that you're more of a harbinger of doom. These human minds are so fragile, easy to manipulate.
How much perception do you have on my sneaking up on you? Because I recognized you.
I mean, from your distance where you are away from camp,
You said she was 120 feet?
give me a perception check to see if you can hear Trendo monologuing.
What about the others I'm with?
What about them? I have no interest in them. I have to admit, I do have a bit of an interest in your woodland friend. I can only imagine how much extraction of organic arcane material might be involved with it, but
13.
13. You're fixated on where those hounds ran off to, and you're frozen in fright that he might know where you are now. You don't pick up any of this at this point.
Okay, like here's my issue I have right now. So just being able to be let into his mind to get that 1,000 years of knowledge of what's going on
It's intriguing.
is overcoming my fear of going with him. And plus, I could technically out him as one of my kind anyway.
Can you alert me to what he's asking you to
Meta.
do?
I'm just kidding. That's pretty-
I mean, from her perspective, I mean, it's
No,
a good
sure.
question. I mean, I would say you think people are nearby. You're just not 100% certain if they are or aren't.
You can be doing pings.
Well, this is my issue: is if I include them, then that something could happen to them.
Hi, son.
But if I go with him, I'll learn a bunch of information.
Puppies. Hi.
But you did
Were you
hire me
fussy?
to protect
You look like you have fussy face.
I know.
So what will it be, Jerry? An exchange of information. I give you the last 1,000 years of a forebear being here. I could even show you what the immediate outcome of the calamity looked like. I was here for that.
All right.
So, take a deep breath. He watches his pupils like go to pinpricks, and his eyes get really big as you feel that telepathic bond integrate with your mind. And within the brief span of a handful of seconds, the history of Exandria, seen through the eyes of a forebear, begins to unfurl itself in your mind. And there you can see a primordial titan wandering the great vast plains of Othanzia, long before the empires grew, long before things became civilized. The Devil's Grin didn't exist yet. That ravine won't exist until Vecna attempts to ascend and shatters the great eastern ranges of the lands. Dragons come and go. Empires of insignificance rise and fall, but always the great beacon of a city called Vasselheim lingers year after year after year after year until you're caught up with the memories of the forebear leading the familiar wizard that you ran into out at that ruined location and purposely put into the chamber to be contained. But the memory is one of a trap, one of a cage. How it turned into what he was manipulating things with, even Trendo doesn't seem to reveal anything there. There's nothing in his memory of why that would have happened or how it could have happened. But the time span of his imprisonment is accurate. He's been there a long time. And then Trendo's rise within the Ravens and the subsequent success of the defeat of Vecna and the modern anthology of Othanzia and Issylra begin to pour out into your mind. But more importantly, his origin, his journey to the vast expanse of the astral sea and the universe, moving from wild space to wild space, from planetary system to planetary system. And there, the very heart of the memory, is the historical nature of your world, of what it was before the different versions of existence came into effect, before the gray, the blue, the red. This is your ancient history. This is the ancient history of the very first spacefarers, the very first travelers left. They mastered travel, both from a mental state and a physical state. And this travel allowed them to expand ever wider away from the center. But time distillation is still a constant. As they travel further, time continued to pass back on your homeworld. And the forebears became legends, myth, urban conversations amongst highly trained academics who felt they were entities that exist to put the finer finishes on things that couldn't be explained. And the forebears just kind of got lost to history. And all of that catches up to you. All of their origins, their source, including what is called the origination of species, a time period where your kind came into existence for the very first time. And there you can see your race and your species come into existence. The evolution, the path that all of your kind took, and that all of it was propped up by these forebears. Turns out they're real. There's no dissemination of falsehood or nefarious intent in this mental relay. And then it breaks off. It just casually, his eyes renormalize. He looks down at you. He gets a smile on his face. And his hand reaches out towards you. Shall we go, Jerry? And as you grab hands,
Are you going to tell us?
you come walking back to the campsite out of your daze, out of your shock, in time to see a familiar-looking wizard that you know is Trendo and Jerry hold hands.
She hadn't met Trendo, though.
No, Trendo was the man who was trying to kill me.
Yeah, they have a shared backstory.
Years.
I thought Trendo
In
was
prison.
the guy that was in prison.
Why are you questioning her backstory?
I'm not questioning her backstory. I'm trying to figure it out for myself.
I'm trying to get names.
Because I
correct.
had tried to kill him originally.
Well, this was the one that Belladonna saw at the academy.
Okay,
Trendo
no, we were
wasn't the
thinking
one
it
that was in
one that
prison. Trendo was the one she ran into, who's the head of the Ravens Order that's been tracking Jerry.
Okay.
I believe the imprisoned one had a completely different name
Yeah.
that you met at the ruins.
One at the
Yeah.
ruins. His name, I thought his name was Trendo.
No. Yeah, it's name. It's not.
That was why we decided to take on
Correct.
protecting him, is because we had a shared enemy. But you guys were not aware of it.
Him and
No, I have his
were
name.
aware.
Let me make sure my asterisk was accurate.
I have it right here. Trendo, wizard we saved.
Hold on. There's Gallic Market. Did I use that? I might have
So that
used the
was
wrong
back in the
name.
day?
Hold on.
The last I have a tendency to rewrite.
No, I'm
NPCs.
double checking my notes. I want to make sure this is right because I see Bulwark Mines, the off-world species.
No, you named him Mordecai.
Mordecai was the one. Sorry.
Sorry,
Trendo's the
all right.
original prison one. You're
Okay.
interacting with Mordecai.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I was looking at the wrong. It's been a week. I was looking at the wrong asterisks. I'm going. I do have these confused because I'm looking at. Because Trendo van Krieg,
We still don't.
the
trust
leader
him.
of the Golden Raven at this time, so he was put there by someone who went by the name of Breck van Zadash. She came across Mordecai, who was looking for Jerry. So you just had that entire conversation with Mordecai. That was my correction. Sorry, wrong asterisks.
But it's still the same man that basically is
That's
still
the
trying to kill me.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
Mordecai is still the one in your backstory.
All
And
right.
as you return to camp, you see Mordecai and Jerry hold hands for a brief moment, and then there's a flash of blue pinkish light as they disapparate and are gone. And that's where we're going to finish tonight.
She's running for her life. He's disappearing, and I'm wailing in immortal pain and torment.
We always finish on a happy
Yeah,
note.
we're just finishing on an upbeat note.
Hey, but I got a +1 to strength. That's nice.
Here's Sebastian's face. Who are these weird people?
Which gives my base strength up to 18.
Are we good for next Monday? Are we good for the 17th? Everybody okay with it?
So, yeah.
Do you want to be here on your birthday?
I will explain things after the show. I have an idea. A really
Oh.
fun idea.
For the 17th?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We got a late start today, but we're all pretty wiped from a busy week. So we're a little short on tonight's session, but that's okay. We'll be back to normal expectations next week. So be safe, be kind, and play a game. It's good for your mental health. Good night, everybody.
So just to be clear, those stumps, Grandpa, Mom.
Yeah.
Emperor!
Come on, I would know.
I still wanted to say it.
Even though I'm
That would
retarded.
make your soul.
That's not a politically correct terminology. You're challenged, but it's got to play out.
I'm a slow person. And that's how I use the word. I don't know what
Speaking
you're
of
talking
ideas
about.
for challenges. So, idea for next week. What about people